Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, today the League of Ordinary Gentlemen proudly bring to you the Fantasy Football 5. Introducing Balls to the Wall, Bryan Roberts.
Balls to the wall.
Oh, yeah.
How big an old boy are
Coach Jake Ruth.
Hello. You play to win the game.
Trigger Mike, Michael Smith.
Trigger Mike.
The Magic Man, Ryan Robertson.
You got a new nickname? Nah, you don't.
Oh, God. JT, the commish.
Evening, Commissioner.
I like that. I like that. And making his long-awaited return to the podcast, we haven't seen him since the debacle of 2021.
Where he brought so much food.
Drank a lot of beer. And shed a few tears. We have the Scorpion King, Andrew Speary.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Oh, God, I don't even know what to do. Oh, those are freaking amazing. Oh, that's freaking amazing. Can't beat it. Magic Man, everybody. Magic Man. You got an idea? Too late. He's already got one, and it's better than yours. All right. So we'll off the game. So we got a special edition of the Fantasy Football 5. We're going to review Week 8 as per usual, and then we're going to get into some mid-year Fantasy Football awards before our Week 9 preview. All right, so let's jump into Week 8. Our first matchup was JT versus Broach.
JT and Broach.
All right, so the original projection was 133 to 111 in favor of Cult of Personality. The final, 183 to 126, Cult of Personality.
Mm-hmm. You sound like you're doing UFC introductions.
I mean, he's got me jacked up, man. I'm going.
Is the third, like, Cooper Manning level buffer, brother? We got it.
I'll take it. Boys, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought there for a second I was going for 200.
What happened? Stop it.
All right.
Okay, continue.
Did you?
No.
All right.
Okay.
Most fantasy points this year.
Yeah, just edged out Jordon.
I was about to
Jordan
say,
put up 175.
Jordan had a lot, Bryan.
I had
Yeah, you had
179.
179.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good week on my side. Good week on my side.
Not so much on the other.
He had a good week from AJ Brown.
He got a 0 from Bateman, which doesn't bode well.
And 5 from
I don't
10.
think.
Five from number one.
Yeah, 5 from number 1 overall.
I don't think either one of them would have made a difference, so they were healthy.
Well, that, yeah.
He still had two
that
guys.
was a good week,
blew
yeah,
up.
with 2 zeros. I mean, he would have been respectfully at 150, maybe with normal weeks from kind of those guys. And,
Yeah,
now
just
you're
held
talking
on the
about
hope
huge.
for a little bit longer.
I tell you the one that surprised me the most in the matchup, JT, Tony Pollard getting the full workload in Dallas. You know,
Balled out.
Zeke's ran okay, but everyone's been kind of saying, is it about time to
Almost about that time.
like move on from him? I feel like in the NFL, when you pay a running back so much money that owners don't want to be like, hey, put him on the bench because I'm paying him $30 million. But Tony Pollard is the better running back. It's not even close.
Not if you ask Jerry Jones.
I was about to say, when you
Because I'm paying him. That's
when
what I'm
that
saying.
reporter,
It's 'cause he's
the
paying
reporter
him.
asked him, like, hey, you surprised with Pollard? Yeah, but Zeke's our number 1. I'm like, it's not what they asked. Like, I'm surprised with the other guy that y'all drafted, you know?
Like, I get it from a business standpoint. You don't want to look like a bad investment, but
You know what's a good
you
investment?
don't invest in running
My
backs.
point.
Only the team that wins the Super Bowl.
Oh, I thought this was one of our sponsors you were about to play.
Oh, no.
Kind of helped you having Hurts
got
offset.
Yeah, everything that AJ Brown did.
You
Yeah,
got
hurts.
the benefit
Yeah,
of it as well, so that can help.
yeah, that didn't hurt me too much.
Tyreek Hill, I think I
Leading the
saw
league?
Yeah, I think I saw a stat.
On
that he
pace.
was 2,000.
Yeah, on pace for
first
2,000.
one.
Yeah.
I thought Calvin just eclipsed 2,000. He was just
He was
under
like
2,000.
1970.
Yeah, something like
crazy.
that. Because we were talking about that yesterday. You remember that?
And I think he needed, 200 yards in his last 3 games. I think he got two of them or something. It was something
Yeah, it was
crazy.
something-
Like,
it was
on
something
pace,
crazy.
But he slowed down and he needed to have a crazy pace. It was either him or AP when he was trying to catch Eric Dickerson. I can't remember which one.
Well, he only came up, 7 yards short?
Yeah.
That was crazy. I remember watching that game.
Feel
Remember
like
watching
I
that
think
game?
that was probably
I
AP
remember
more
watching
than
that
that.
Oh, okay, you don't remember.
You don't watch. I don't watch football.
I feel like a lot of people were talking about at the beginning of the year, Mahomes is still the real deal even without him. And a lot of people weren't saying how good Tyreek still was without Mahomes.
Yeah, Tyreek's pretty.
Yeah, not in most media
You're right,
platforms.
you're right.
And so I think it's kind of like Tyreek is that special.
It is a testament to his talent.
With a big
NFL ability.
Tua having
Yeah.
like third string quarterbacks who weren't even throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, Tua's putting up monster stats.
He's got two.
I mean,
He's got two of the top 5 receivers in the league.
And he's got one of the weakest arms, but it doesn't matter. You got two of the fastest receivers in football and one of the weakest arms.
Just throw it early.
Just throw it up, throw it high, throw it deep. Just get before they get all the way down.
Yeah.
Good win, JT.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you.
win.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Najee, still doing Najee things from the other side.
Yeah, he's gonna come up a little bit later. Oh, don't you
Yeah,
worry. He's gonna
yeah.
come up when we talk about
Yeah,
mid-season, boys.
yeah.
Huzzah!
All right. So that takes the cult of personality to 5-3 and in third place, and that takes now it was Lamar's chubby.
Yes.
It was Lamar's limpy.
Yes.
Now
He's selling the seats.
for sale. He's for sale. He is for sale. For sale, Josh Broach at
Work
2
good.
and 6
Good work
and
at
in
all.
8th
That's all I
place.
knew.
All right, our second matchup we have.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you said something. Jake versus Michael.
Oh, okay.
Oh, two of the fellas sitting right
Cheer.
close to me. All right, so we've got.
Thank you.
We had an original projection of 103 for turd sandwiches. We had an original projection for 110 for the league versus me. The final 82 to 140
Ooh.
to Mr. Smith. Yeah, you put up a good day. You had look. We just talked about how Broach had, he had a 0 for Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
You had a 0 in your lineup with George Pickens.
Yeah.
There was a difference there. George Pickens played the whole game. Rashad Bateman didn't. But either way, you still put up 140 with a 0 in your lineup. And with one of you guys that can go off at any moment's notice, Gabe Davis, only putting up 4.
He didn't go off.
He did not.
And with DeAndre Swift only getting 5 carries?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than he should have. Apparently so.
Yeah, apparently one more than he should have, which makes no sense.
So you put up some numbers there. Alvin Kamara, 38. Freaking Stevenson continues to be the man.
Continue. Keep going.
And then Jake, Tua looked good.
That's about it.
Tua looked good.
Ertz had a good game.
Yeah, Ertz has been solid for you at tight
I
end.
think Ertz has been like the third wide receiver pretty consistently of the whole year, but I mean it's not like he's putting up monster stats.
Yeah,
He's just
yeah.
consistently right around 10, which is pretty nice. If anyone else,
He's not going to win you a week, but he ain't going to lose you.
Yeah,
Fair.
Well said.
Fair
Well
enough.
said.
yeah. Since trading for Kamara, he has produced very well for old Trigger Mike over there.
Yeah, he's been very good.
All right,
Very
how
good.
many weeks have you had him?
3? 4?
3.
All right, the last 4 weeks, 20.4, 15.4, 14, and 38.3.
I think it's been
His
4.
his season
The-
total
the-
before that.
The 4 weeks before that, 6.1, 0. 6.3, 0.
They just need to change the scenery.
Man,
how it
fuck him. Not you, Kamara.
But at the same time,
12.4
the other
on the
side of that
season.
trade's been
on
well.
the
Yeah,
trade.
I was gonna say, DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
I'm happy with
yeah,
it.
we'll get to
boy.
that later.
Your boy.
Shaboy.
Fuck Kamara.
You did say that on the draft of the NFL, not on fantasy.
Jake, were you surprised Kareem Hunt got those carries? And then, are you surprised? Are you just surprised about Kareem Hunt?
Yeah, I was talking before the pod with Michael. Like, I thought one of the ideas in that game was to maybe get a little look for him
Showcase him?
so he could have a little bit more trade value. But I also think winning that game hurt their
Blow him
idea
out.
of trading him, is because I think they feel like they're still in a hunt with Watson coming back in
No
2
problem.
more weeks. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 weeks. And so they decided not to trade him for 4th round, even though he's made it clear he's not coming back. He's going to leave in the offseason. So, I mean, you still have Dearness Johnson. That's what I don't understand. Like, teams were
That's
calling
good
about
draft.
him. So why would you not trade one of those two to get draft cap up when one of them are leaving it, well, maybe both are leaving in the offseason? And you got the best running back in football with Nick Chubb, who's leading in rushing yards, correct? #1 fantasy running back.
Yes.
Last time I looked. So, again, I was a little surprised by it, held out hope, but didn't happen.
I only sent you a trade for Kareem Hunt the other night, just a speculative trade.
Like hoping that
Just
he-
hoping that
Yeah,
he,
hoping he
well,
was
that's-
great.
you're trying
And
to get
I
a
would
lottery
give
ticket?
Jake, I would give Jake somebody that again there was less mystery around, and I would take on the mystery, hoping that it would pay off.
The mystery man.
Decided against it.
I literally drafted him with that idea.
Yeah, I remember
usually
when you
has
said
standalone value, but I mean he had requested a trade in the offseason.
There was a
and
lot of
made it.
him going to Philly
Yeah.
before the season started, Philly's got one of the best offensive lines in football. That would have worked out pretty well. Then Miles Sanders
But Miles has
decided
played
to
pretty
do it
well.
again.
Yeah.
I was thinking there was a couple places they brought up, like Tyreek posted the other night a picture of him and Kareem Hunt, and I was like, oh, he goes to Miami.
They got a
Like,
good off-the-field track record.
yeah, especially with Miami actually getting rid of Chase Edmonds and then bringing in Jeff Wilson Jr. Like, that didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, the running back
Jeff Wilson got
carousel
coached by-
trade deadline.
I
was
know,
like-
dude. Yeah, I
just kind of work together.
But I don't know. Kareem Hunt seemed like he'd have been a good fit.
Somebody put some sunglasses on Bryan. He's been leaning back his whole time, just keep going back and forth.
Look at everybody listen to the
Put a piano,
conversation.
bro.
Having a good time. Having a good time.
Indeed.
Devontae, 0.7. I know he was out with the flu pretty much all week, and
I think
that
that's a
they
result
just
of-
looked awful.
Yeah, Derek Carr,
And
they
they
had
beat
100
Derek
yards
Carr,
too.
too.
Yeah, it was bad offense.
Never had a season with 30 touchdowns. Told y'all that before the draft.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
sick. This is going to be the year it brings.
Tough week.
He's rough. They say he's fighting a back injury. I think that's an excuse.
Carrying the team.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Think so?
No.
I don't either. Yeah, so Michael Carter was the other one I wanted to talk about in the team, Jake. Michael Carter, 8.1.
Thoughts?
I know you traded for him. You traded Tyler Lockett for him. Again, do you?
There was no running backs to pick up. I had no other offers come in for anyone else on my team that was actually something kind of a decent trade, and I had to start 2 running backs according to Yahoo. So
But James Robinson did play, right?
Yeah, he
he
did.
didn't do
He
much.
didn't do
Yeah,
much.
he didn't
Yeah.
do much.
Neither one of them really did anything that was impressive.
Carter got 7 carries and 5 for Robinson. But the team and the offense looks terrible with Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
It really does.
Which
Man,
we were
y'all were
scared-
right. Y'all were right about Zach Wilson
The thing
being
is-
worse than Joe Flacco. I thought that would be impossible.
But this isn't the first time. Last year, his rookie year, Mike White came in, who nobody had ever heard of Mike White.
And he was
outplayed
yeah.
him. So it's
I thought Mike White was just one of those diamonds in the rough. You
he
know?
sounds like an e-bug in hockey, like the emergency backup goalie that's just some random accountant that sits up in the
E-bug?
It's a real thing. Yeah,
Emergency
emergency backup
backup
goalie.
I've never heard that term before.
I didn't
Well,
know either.
each team dressed 2 goalies, and then you've got some random guy in each stadium or each arena that if both the team's goalies get hurt, that guy comes in for either team.
How do you get picked for this?
I don't know.
Usually,
like a lottery?
You like the guy that when the Hurricanes played Toronto,
Ayers.
both their goalies, he was a Zamboni driver, but he also played on a junior hockey league, like a beer league.
Yeah, you play like a
So,
it's-
How
once
cool
a
is that?
week,
Jesse's like,
Dude,
how do I-
that's
how
the
do- how do I
wildest thing
become
I've
this
ever heard. This
guy?
is professional sports.
once a week, he goes in, does get some reps in
So who-
net. So, but one guy in each arena represents both teams.
Huh?
Yeah, so that's what Mike White sounds like. It's just some
If
random
you
guy
go
that
back
come
and
in for either
look when
quarterback.
So
they
he
played
could
Toronto,
play for either team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
What
had on
the-
a Hurricanes jersey and Toronto's shorts.
And this makes sense to y'all.
Yeah, it's they maybe get like one game every 2 or 3 years across the league, and E-Bug gets to play.
Yeah.
But when it happens, it is awesome.
They usually sit in the arena somewhere, and then once that one goalie goes, they're down to their last goalie, they put him in the back.
Is there a YouTube compilation of
Probably.
both goalies getting hurt and this
ESPN
guy they
did
zoom
like a
in on this
30-minute
guy?
piece on
Like,
David Ayers.
it's my
Yeah.
time.
Cool to be if you're at like a baseball game and it's like the 18th inning and they're out of arms and they're like, we're going to the guy in the stand.
Yeah, dude. And you just haul ass in
He's
there
like
like
literally
Joe
buzzing
Rogan.
back
Get down here.
Like there's no one else in the bullpen. No, the guy like 8 rows up. He
That's
looks
what
like
that sounds like.
That's
He
basically what it
just
is.
comes out and like does a little quick BP and jeans. And it's like, all right, I'm ready to go, guys. Just give me a jersey. I'll button it up real quick.
I mean, I didn't mean to derail the whole show, but I felt like that was basically what you were
That
saying.
needed to be said. That needed to be said. All right, so that takes the league versus me, 2-4-4 and in 5th, and it takes turd sandwiches 2-3-5 and in 7th. Our third matchup, we have Scorp versus Ryan.
I was in that matchup. Hey, buddy.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, yeah.
So the original projection was 113 to 130 in favor of the Fantasy Phenoms. The final, 106 Scorpion King and 120 Fantasy Phenoms.
Yes.
Would you like to take this moment to explain your team name? Because I know this has been something that you've really wanted to get across to our listening audience.
When there was debate over it because of the confusion between it sounding like Dwayne Johnson, but there's a picture of Scorpion on the throne.
Yeah. But it had been Dwayne Johnson for like 7 years.
I don't remember this.
So then you said there's a comma.
They're supposed to be, but Yahoo won't let me add it.
What?
They'll let Jordon add feathers and flags and dots, and we can't get a comma.
He's a
Rainbows.
Yeah. Pee-pees and wee-wees. Chinese brothers.
So there's supposed to be a comma.
champion. Where?
In between
After.
Scorpion and King.
Yeah. The king is his pronoun.
We
You
don't
just put
recognize that shit.
King Scorpion. What we do if he and her,
We have no
one or the
words.
other.
All right, anyway, so the highest scoring player in this matchup between these two gentlemen sitting here to my left, Dalvin Cook, 22.6 for Scorp. I'll say everybody else under that. 22 doesn't really typically get
what I scored.
22 typically doesn't get the highest score within a matchup.
Especially if Josh Allen's in it.
And Diggs.
And Diggs, and Kenneth Walker, and well,
Everybody else on your team, but no one off of mine.
So you're seeing.
I
who
mean,
this
Higgins
is.
without Chase.
Well, you don't have.
was kinda-
you didn't have
there
Mahomes,
was a
so
shot.
it would have been.
Yeah, Cincinnati didn't look like the Cincinnati from the week before.
No.
no, they look like they're missing a big part of their offense.
Yes, 5 guys.
Can't put my finger on it, but
They look like they're missing something. I don't know what it
Can't
is.
put my finger.
Daniel Jones, you picked him up with Pat Mahomes.
Gio Bernard.
You picked him up with Pat Mahomes bye week.
did not pan out.
Did not pan out. Daniel Jones over the past month has had a little bit of up, a little bit of down, but
Seattle's
this
defense
is his worst
looked a
game
lot
of the
better
season.
Lately.
Huh?
Mhm.
Seattle's defense has looked a lot better lately.
They have. This is actually it was actually like maybe a
Surprise team,
preview.
yeah.
Maybe a preview to what you can see in the playoffs.
What is Seattle's overall record?
5-3 maybe.
Playoffs?
I think
It's crazy, man.
they're winning the division, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, they're leading the division. Giants are leading their division. No, never mind. Giants are second in their division.
Third.
Forgot the Phillies in that division.
I think
Team's
Dallas
undefeated?
might be having a better record than the Giants too.
They got 2 losses or 3 losses.
Dallas beat the Giants.
Dallas.
Okay, look, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But
They're not last.
The Giants
They're
are
not
better
last.
than I
Commanders
thought.
are
They're in the
last.
division.
Yeah, they're better than I thought.
They are in the NFC. Good call. Good call. This guy gets
All
it.
right, whatever. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs continue to be a pretty good little double up for you there, Mr. Robertson.
Yes, sir.
Can I just say that Amari Cooper at home is a thing?
Yeah.
Once again, he puts up almost 20
Every
at
single
home.
year.
At home, Amari Cooper is a thing.
Amari Cooper.
Sleeps better.
All right, let's see. At
That
home.
might be what it is.
At home for him this year.
Let's hear it.
20.6, 19.6, 17.1, 12.4, 19.6. On the road, 3.2, 1.4, 8.9.
Yeah, that's awful.
If he's
That's
playing,
a
if he's
really
playing at home,
weird,
if he's playing at home,
Well,
he's
happens
starting.
on bye week because he's technically at home.
I think he's
He's
still
on
going to put
vacation.
up a 0.
He's in Barbados.
Oh, okay.
Well, Amari Cooper did get the best value pick of our draft back in August. Or actually, it's back in September. It's Labor Day weekend. My bad.
Here, yeah.
And it definitely kind of looks like that. You got him in the
Draft.
Okay.
I don't
8th,
remember.
9th round, maybe?
Yeah,
7th round? Something like
I
that?
took him in that, wherever he took Edwards-Helaire and Thielen. I took it right after those two. That debacle of a pick. I took him on the wraparound.
That's 8-9.
Yeah, so I took 9.
Everybody's doing a wraparound.
That's what I hear.
Brian
Heard Ron-
Every other people are doing the mess around.
Mm-hmm.
Daryl Henderson, 4 points. Was the lead back in Los Angeles.
They
now,
can't run the football.
who knows?
I was going to say,
I'm
I don't
surprised
think
they
You're
didn't
talking about
make
bringing
the
Cam
trade.
Akers
Talking
back.
about a team.
They're like, he's no longer with the team. We're talking to his agent.
It's like, somebody made a mistake.
It's like the couple that breaks up, but they're already texting again. Like, I think we're going to work things out.
I can't quit.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what to expect out of that backfield.
Think about it.
But you got 2 players in that backfield. Daryl Henderson and
Unfortunately.
Who's the other one?
Kyron
Williams.
Oh, is that the one we was talking about earlier?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out.
He's got a couple stash men on his bench. White, Mitchell,
Probably some variations.
Herbert, Hines, Murray.
Somebody to say you should have started Herbert last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that happened.
Herbert with a solid 15.9 on the bench.
Yes.
All right. Well, that takes the
I'm here for you.
Fantasy Phenoms to 6-2 and in second place, and it drops Scorpion King to 4-4 and in 6th. Is that better?
Thank you.
That better?
Speaking of Patrick Trogon over there.
That's what I'm known for. That's what I'm known for. There's stories about me.
There are.
My goodness.
All right, so now we have our 4th matchup: Tyler versus Bryan. All right. We have Autonomy is American. Original projection 123. We have Victim of the System. Original projection 122. Final 134 to 151. The highest scoring output of the week between two individuals in our league.
Bryan Tyler.
Matchup.
Way to go, Derrick Henry.
Good lord.
Good job.
Thank you. I didn't do shit. Just sat there and watched them.
DJ Moore, 24.5.
Glad to have you on the show, Bryan.
Yeah, man.
Comes up with a huge catch at the end of the game. 62-yarder to potentially win it.
Mm-hmm.
He had a shot.
And they lost it.
He did.
PJ Walker looks good for DJ Moore, though.
He does.
Past couple weeks, DJ Moore 16.1, which, again, his highest scoring output of the season. And then this past week, 24.5, and tops the previous week with, again, his highest scoring output of the season.
What a throw.
But that wasn't.
We're not going to be able to talk about it at any other point because someone has PJ Walker. But I mean, he rolled to his left, stopped, and threw
67 yards. It says the longest pass that Next Gen Stats has recorded.
While rolling out and overthrew two defenders right into DJ Moore's lap.
To the board.
That was a hell of a throw.
Could have caught him in his helmet.
And then the whole rule debacle, like field of play, helmet removal, even though it was out of the back of the end zone. Some NFL previous referees have said that shouldn't have been a penalty.
Yep.
Others have come out and said that it was. Then they were talking about people leaving the bench to go celebrate, and I was like, well, every defensive turnover that happens, and there's never a flag on those.
To the end zone.
Yeah, so that literally makes no sense to me whatsoever. The good news is DJ Moore did that on purpose just so he could make one of the best plays of the season, but Carolina could still lose so he could get a better quarterback eventually.
Boy's wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
I don't like it.
What, the rule?
DJ Moore, he doesn't like him.
Don't like it.
ETN did good as a lone back in the.
ETN did do good, but ETN only put up about half of your number one running back, Derrick Henry.
Boy had a good game.
With 45. Freaking.
He had a good game? He had over 200 yards and
I hold my guys to a higher standard.
The past 4 times he's played Houston, he's went over for 200.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's back.
Started him against Houston.
You took Derrick Henry 4th overall.
Yes.
You took Derrick Henry 4th overall. And all of the fantasy experts, they were like,
The other 5 guys at this table.
Derrick Henry, wasn't really a top 4 or 5 pick this year. Because he had the injury last year, the foot injury. There was
The workload's catching up to him.
They lost A.J. Brown.
Doesn't catch passes.
Doesn't catch passes. They're going to load the box. But it doesn't freaking matter. It's Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going to bulldoze his way to 100 and some, 200 and some yards.
He's a defensive
whenever he gets the
tackle
ball.
that plays running back.
He really is. I reckon if you wouldn't have took Derrick Henry at 4, I was taking him at 5. Like that's I had my mind set that I'm like, okay, I'm taking Derrick Henry because nobody else is going to get
I was taking Derrick Henry no matter what.
Is he just a more athletic Brandon Jacobs?
Yes.
Like, Brandon Jacobs was good, but it was just because he was just big.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry's actually a very good athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I mean he'll outrun dudes, and it looks like he should. It looks like he should be able to do that.
And if you can catch him, you don't want to catch him because he'll stiff arm you and throw you 5 yards.
Well, if you can catch him, you want to try to just dive and swipe at his foot. Hopefully,
if I'm catching up to him, I'm looking around, seeing who's with me. Because it's going to take a risk.
I'm doing a
I'm not
soccer
going
slide
alone.
tackle.
You got to make a
That's
business
about it.
decision.
Right.
I tried to coach.
It's a freaking
DJ
monster.
Moore, take your helmet off, throw it at him. Something.
It is a freaking monster. It would take all 3 of Tyler's running backs to put
fight
up.
him. Still taking Henry.
But it would take, again, all 3 of his running backs to outscore Derrick Henry in this matchup. Damian Pierce, 12.6. Aaron Jones, 17.7. I will point this out. Again, like the ETN, Damian Pierce, beginning of the year, I didn't think either one of those looked too good.
I thought they were both reaches at the time, and they have.
But freaking midseason,
They've
those are
Tyler's
2
team
top 12 running
has
backs.
evolved for the better as the season goes on.
Yeah. And he even had like a pretty average week, in my opinion, from Jefferson at 12.8. And then Higbee pretty low there.
Higbee.
134 usually wins you a week.
Yeah.
And so, I think Tyler's team's moving in the right direction as the season progresses. ETN having a lot more opportunity. I think Pierce has really kind of gained that backfield as well. I think he's got 3 solid receivers with even one on the bench. So, I mean, Tyler's got
Who's the one he's got on the bench?
Tyler Lockett.
Lockett.
And Cooks, if anything happens with him, I mean, that was another dude I think he was kind of betting on being traded as well at the deadline.
Yeah,
he literally told people he was being traded, and then he wasn't traded, so now he's refusing to go to practice until
I
something
think
happens.
he's in shock. I
Out
don't know
for
if he's
personal
refusing.
reasons, I think is what they said.
Yeah, they
I
said
think
the
he's
same thing
sitting
about
on his
Cam
couch and
Akers.
He hasn't gotten up yet.
Who knows? Maybe his agent's gonna work things out and he'll be playing in the
Texans coach expected Brandon Cooks to return to the team on Friday after he's held out of Thursday's game.
Did he?
Coach's decision and not related to a minor wrist injury.
What's a kid hurting his hand got to do with anything?
I don't know.
Pardon you?
The search continues.
Legal to play if you're a minor, though?
All right.
I don't know child labor laws.
NBA does.
They do. They do. So, yeah, good week, Bryan. 151, led by Derrick Henry. He's the freaking man. All right. So that takes victim of the system, 2-4-4 and 5th. And it takes Autonomy as American, drops him to 2-6 and in 10th. And now, on to our matchup of the week.
What up?
We had Jordon versus Andrew.
What a matchup.
What
it
a
was.
matchup indeed. Because we had the number 1 seed playing the number 10 seed, and we had several gentlemen sitting at this very table that actually picked this matchup correctly.
I did.
I did.
You did.
I would say several.
Couple.
2 of us?
2.
Yes.
Couple.
Okay, couple. All right, so we had the team with no
I
name,
wish.
Jordan Powell, original projection 119. We had Smith-Schuster and the Jujus of Andrew Ransdell, original projection 104. The final, 127 to 163 in favor of Smith-Schuster and the Jujus. He was led by Christian McCaffrey.
Who else?
Trifecta.
The franchise. He is the franchise.
Yeah, he is the franchise.
First since LaDainian Tomlinson to throw for a touchdown, rush for a touchdown, and receive a touchdown in the same game from the running back position.
I think
California love.
The fantasy MVP of all fantasy MVPs, LaDainian Thompson, 0506.
I'm pretty sure.
So he's led by...
he had more
I
fantasy
feel like we
points
said
than
that
anybody
during
else.
the breakdown
One
of this
number retired in the
matchup.
rafters of the Roberts.
It's like, I remember when we got to like picking, we said
That's
that
my boy.
Andrew would probably win the running back matchup pretty big, but Jordan would win the wide receiver matchup pretty big. That's exactly what happened.
That is what happened.
But
Yes.
Yes.
Kyler Murray beat Joe Burrow pretty handily.
Beat
I don't
the
think we
brakes
saw
off
that
that bad
happening
boy.
as much.
I did.
No.
And then, I mean, other than that, it was just really about the running backs. I mean,
Freaking,
he won it so big there.
38 from McCaffrey and 31 from Deonta
Another
Foreman.
triple.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns rushing there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who would have thought that at the beginning of the season, that Deonta Foreman would be...
Steve Wilkes.
Yeah, apparently Steve Wilkes is a big Foreman fan. Apparently, when they were on a previous team together, he's like, you should be carrying the ball at minimum 15 times a game. And that was one of the big decisions to bring Foreman in was Steve Wilkes went to management, was like, you better go get this guy.
Matt Rule's going to get fired soon.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna take over. Now listen, when you give it a rule,
Yeah.
we're going to let McCaffrey audition for a week, then we're going to trade him.
That's
gonna be a
exactly
Foreman
what
show.
happened.
We'll get
That's
this bum
exactly
off
what
the
happened.
team, and then your time to shine.
I mean, in many ways, the running
Chuba,
game's
I'm
actually
hurting
been
him.
better
Yeah,
without
yeah.
McCaffrey for the Panthers.
We're not
I'm not saying
gonna play.
McCaffrey isn't special because he clearly is, but
Clearly
Women's
is.
figure
You're right.
skating in the 90s just come.
I've seen the Tanya Hardin story.
Yeah, we got Tanya. Steve Wilkes.
That is a good movie.
I haven't seen it.
Really
I don't
good
believe in
movie.
women's sports.
Anybody else seen it? Just me.
Title
Seen
IX
it?
doesn't
It's a
exist.
good movie, Ed.
Anytime an athlete gets assaulted, it's worth a watch.
You ain't lying. So, yeah, 3 players that scored over 30. We've talked about all 3 of them, McCaffrey, Foreman, and Kyler Murray. Again, some solid performances by Rondell Moore and Romeo Dobbs.
Is this the first week Jordan's fantasy imaginary defense didn't show up
yes.
and
Yeah.
stunt the other team?
It really is. It really
Who
is.
did he have? He didn't have somebody on bye. Yeah, he had Kelsey and Eckler on bye, which doesn't help.
Probably is, his top 2 picks.
Yeah, and then Josh Jacobs has been going for 30 plus, and they got shut out. So
That was a
doesn't
bad
help.
offensive performance for me, like we talked about.
Yeah, that
So
was
that was
terrible
a
game.
perfect storm of Jordan's guys not.
And then Antonio Gibson essentially loses the job to Brian Robinson, and then now is...
Since Brian Robinson came back, Antonio Gibson's been better.
And he's been catching the ball.
That don't make
and
no
they,
sense.
And
Shot in the
before,
dark.
Pew! And before, they wouldn't give...
Right in the leg.
They wouldn't give Antonio Gibson any receiving opportunities, but now he's catching the ball out of the backfield.
Crazy that you don't give him passing attempts when he was a receiver at Memphis.
Yeah, he had 7 catches this past week. He had 7 catches this past week. He did have 7 catches in week 1, but again, traditionally over the past 2 seasons, again, that's when McKissick comes in, and they're
He was a receiver in college. It makes no sense why they don't throw him the ball.
it's the Commanders. What do you think? Wait.
The commies are going to do it. That's just what they do.
That's what they
Commanders
do.
gonna make
That's
it.
what they do. DeAndre Hopkins, since he has come back, has
Scored
looked
more points.
really good. He has 10 catches last week. He had 12 catches this week. Over 100 yards in both and a touchdown.
27 targets in 2 games.
That's great.
That'll do it.
Yeah. DeAndre Hopkins, that looks like, again, maybe one of the best stashes that I've seen in recent memory.
Tom Selleck. That dude's got a
Can't get nothing by this guy, huh? Can't get nothing past him.
You a Burt Reynolds guy? You might not.
I'm a Burt Reynolds
I don't
guy.
know. You're a Sam Elliott guy. We all know
Fuck
you.
Sam Elliott.
You would if you could.
You don't like him in Roadhouse?
No.
Okay.
The ranch.
Wade Garrett.
He was alright in the ranch. It bothered me that I liked him in the ranch. He's
I liked
Reagan.
him in Roadhouse.
What about the Big Lebowski?
What about?
Did you like him in the Big Lebowski?
I did not.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's fair.
Jalen Waddle, 26.
Waddle.
Again, continues to be a top 5 receiver in the NFL. It was just one of those weeks for Jordon where, again, missing his top 2 picks did end up hurting him. But
Still put almost 130.
again, almost put up 130. And again,
And his quarterback had a terrible game.
terrible game. And Smith-Schuster and the Juju's puts up 161. It's gonna be 163. It's tough to beat that. No matter with Eckler, with Kelsey, still gonna be tough to
You
beat.
need Derrick Henry to beat that.
You do need a Derrick Henry.
I had Derrick Henry. I didn't beat it.
All right, so that takes
Fair enough.
Smith-Schuster and the Juju's to 2-6 and in 9th, and it keeps the team with no name in first place, but there is no more undefeateds. The Miami Dolphins, they're celebrating.
72
We
points,
had-
cracking up champagne again.
Have we had an undefeated?
No, never have an undefeated. Never.
Not the regular
We've had
season.
1 loss.
Yeah.
I came close, but I was by like 2 points. I lost one matchup last year by 2 points.
In the playoffs?
No, in regular season.
Oh.
Regular season.
That was Scorpion King.
And then Rans Diddy, he had that one season where I think he lost once in the regular season, and then
When he had Denver's offense.
Yeah.
And I think
That-
you had like 2 or 3 early losses, then
Yeah,
won
and
like
then
14
yeah,
straight
they
or
ran
something
off
crazy.
pretty good chunk of games.
But no, we haven't had anybody that's unblemished.
Never will. Probably not.
Maybe not.
The
Hopefully not.
the probability of that happened very low.
Very low.
All right, so how we do on picks, Mr. Robertson?
All right, picks. Let's pull them up. All right, let's see. Picks from last week. We had JT 5-0.
I went 5-0.
That's what I got.
I don't.
I thought he picked Jordan.
Did you?
Yeah, I picked Jordan. I picked
Did
Jake.
you?
Yeah,
Let me look.
I wrote these down.
Did you update the picks? Because he went
Did you
5-0
update the
week
picks?
before.
I think I did.
You didn't update the picks.
You went 5-0 the first week.
Yeah, I updated the
Week
picks.
before.
All right, then you do the picks.
JT went 3-2 with a current standing of 26-14. Bryan 4-1, remaining in first in our pick'em, 30-10.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, this guy's good. Jake also 4-1 last week,
Hey.
up to 24-16.
Thank you.
Brian and Mikkel 3-2.
Sucks.
Ryan at 23-17, and Michael holds a game edge, tied with Jake for third with 24-16.
Yeah, I definitely didn't.
It's okay.
I'm
Look,
falling
you're
off,
doing
man.
you're doing a lot, man. You're doing a lot.
No, I'm
You're
talking about
doing a lot.
falling off in picks. I've gone 2 or 3, 3-2.
Well, you have a chance this week to redeem thyself.
Yes.
All right, so waiver wire this past week, busy
You want
week.
to do bowl prediction updates?
Oh, okay, we can do that.
Oh, we actually had the best week of the year.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah. Brian went 2 for 6.
Hey, hitting
Jake went
333.
3 for 5.
Hey, hitting 600.
JT sucks. He went 3 for 10.
Hey, hit
Still
300. Hall of Famer, baby.
Michael went 0 for 0. Hitting 0.
Hey, you just got to walk.
You never got
I want
out.
to pitch to him.
And I went 3 for 6.
Hey, hitting 500. What was our good ones?
Brian went, Kyle Pitts scores a touchdown. Correct.
Hey!
Got him pegged, didn't I?
Brian said Dalton Schultz 12 plus points. Scored 10.4.
Hey!
Said Scorp's wide receivers will score 60 plus. They did not. Scored
Oh.
37.
I was holding out for you, buddy.
Thank you.
Said Khalil Herbert was top 5 running back this week. Wrong. Well, was running back 14. So that's still pretty good.
It's not bad.
No, they got a good one.
Brian and Jake, I think, copied the Travis Etienne having 20 plus carries. I think 3 out of the 4 of us that made picks said it. He had 24.
Could even gone over 20.
And then you said Taysom Hill throws a touchdown pass. He did not.
I like that bet, though.
They didn't utilize him the way they should.
They
Me
really
and Andrew were talking about that.
Right. Jake went 3 for 5. That's what I
Hey!
said.
Nice.
Said Tua would have his second highest fantasy points on the season. Was right, 35.18.
Boom.
But if you look back, he had like 60 that one week and hadn't had more than 20. I don't think so.
I would also like to
He's
point
right.
out, I said that Dak would have his second highest, or his highest, or whatever it was, and that was correct. So I should really be 4 for.
Yeah, but you didn't want that one written down.
Well,
And then the next one, Jake and JT collabed and said Allen and Diggs would score 55
I
plus.
missed that one.
Scored 41. Jake said Joe Mixon would score 24 plus. He's never done that. 9.4. You also did the ETN over 20 carries. He had 24. And then you said Deontay Foreman, 100 yards and a touchdown.
Freaking killed that one.
You sold my man short. He had 118.3. All right, JT had a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alec Pierce lead the Indianapolis receivers in points. He had 8. Michael Pittman Jr. had 8.8.
Oh,
That's so close.
You said DeAndre Swift would score 2 touchdowns. He had 5 carries for 6
He
yards.
scored 1 touchdown.
He did.
He had a receiving touchdown.
Did I say Russian?
I don't think
Yeah,
it's
you
specified.
just said scored 2 touchdowns. He only
Yeah,
scored 1.
I was,
So one off. Clear one off.
Half
If
wrong.
he'd had more carries.
Half
instead of
right,
less.
all wrong.
There you go. That's words to live by. Jacoby Myers scores in back-to-back weeks. He did.
Boom, baby!
Let's take that from
Knew
me.
that one. That's
Michael
why I tried to-
Carter, highest points of the year, which would have been 16.4. He had 8.
Well.
You said
Disappointed
Tua.
me too.
You said Tua would have 275 plus and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Killed it.
382 and 3.
Killed it.
I like Tua.
Yeah. So do
Tua
I.
likes Kasicki.
Tua does
Yeah.
like Gesicki. Then you said, let's see, what was the next one? Oh, the Allen and Diggs thing again.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
Way to let us down.
You
Start to
said
the
Kenneth
point.
Walker would outscore Dalvin Cook.
I was wrong.
He didn't. Chris Olave scored 20 plus. He
I was
didn't.
wrong. I tried.
Damian
I
Pierce
didn't
scores
either.
26 plus. He didn't.
That's
CMC scores 22 plus. He did. He
Yeah,
had 38
got it.
points.
Here we got one.
Michael, none. Good job.
Played it safe, man. So nothing wrong with that.
Ryan said George Pickens scores 2 touchdowns, didn't have a catch.
0 points.
all wrong.
Tough to do that. Jared Goff scores 30 plus. He had 20.1. I think he had like a 19 at halftime. He didn't do much second half. George Kittle scores, 75 plus in touchdown. He had 39 in touchdown. Wrong.
Half right,
so
all
far.
wrong.
Derrick Henry, 150 total yards. and a
Killed that
touchdown.
one.
Killed
I
it.
think he had that at halftime. Travis Etienne, 20 plus carries. He had 24. And then Rondale Moore scores a touchdown.
Boom.
He did.
Got that? Hey,
So,
pretty
guys,
good job,
Pretty
fellas.
good, boys.
Pretty good
That's
job.
definitely our best of the week, and it's not our best of the year. It's not even close.
Proud of the whole squad.
Good job, guys.
Good job, everybody.
Yes. Even this guy.
Thank you.
You did good.
He's a good kid.
All right,
Really
so
good.
waiver wire. We had Caleb Huntley picked up by Mr. Ransdell for $12, who he then ended up dropping, I believe.
I've done it. I've
You-
spent some
oh,
money on a guy and
there's
then dropped it
one
before.
over here.
Oh, I know.
We had Scorp pick up Kyron Williams for $7. Is he still on your team?
He is.
Hey, okay. We had Broach pick up
Show
Devin
off.
Duvernay for $6. We had Tyler
Good
pick
pickup.
up Evan Ingram for $3. Broach pick up Terrence Marshall Jr. for $1. Ryan pick up Van Jefferson for $1. And didn't drop him.
It's $1. It's $1.
Broach pick up Chase Edmonds for $1. And Broach also pick up
Picked up likely.
Isaiah Likely for $1.
That's another good pickup.
Especially with the whole Mark Andrews deal.
And then Caleb Huntley got picked up this morning.
Broach?
Yeah.
Broach was he's active on the waiver wire this week. He is active.
And I think about everybody he picked up was somebody else dropped him.
Probably. That's what it kind of looks like. We also had a trade this week. We actually had 2 trades. One going through as we currently sit here and discuss fantasy football.
Does that go through tomorrow? So
It should go
Before
through.
the
It
game?
should it should go
Tomorrow
through in the
morning.
morning. If it doesn't, then I can push it through. So Najee Harris,
Mr. System over here.
Mr. System.
Mr. League.
And the
You
victims
remember
of
that?
parties.
And you remember that?
I'll never forget it. Forever and always be a victim of the system.
There you are. Najee Harris been dealt twice now. This time to Tyler for Devin Singletary.
There's justice.
So
Victory
Singletary goes to Broach. Najee Harris goes to Tyler.
Yes, that's
Thoughts?
how it happened.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen with the Bills' backfield and with Hines going there. I mean, it's not like Singletary's been overly productive this year being the lead back.
He looks good. They just don't give him enough carries.
We got Josh Allen. Why even?
That's the issue.
I'm not complaining. I'm saying like he looks good, but like, hey, would he look good with more carries, or would?
I mean, he's got-
are they
he's been
using
in-
the exact and right amount?
He's
He's
been in
looked
top
good the
five
last
in
couple
carries
weeks
and
last
running backs
season.
and hasn't produced on
He
a
did bring
stellar
up
offense.
bullshit.
It's, I don't know.
I'm
So it's
struggling
like that,
enough
that's
right
what-
now, so you got to bring that
They don't
up.
use him in the red zone
Hey.
ever. Like, I don't even know if he's on the field.
I think he's like the running back equivalent to Deontay Johnson. Tons of touches, but just no productivity with it.
Yeah. Kind of what Najee Harris had last year. Tons of touches with no productivity. Now he's still no productivity, but no touches. So
Tough stuff.
no touching, no good player.
And then we have a trade again currently pending between Bryan and Mikkel. We have, let me see if I didn't write this down. Let's see if I can remember off the top of my head. We have Darnell Mooney and DeAndre Swift going to Bryan.
Yes.
For Leonard Fournette and DK Metcalf.
Yep.
All right.
He's so
The
smart.
DK thing surprised me a little bit.
That he came back after they were like
Maybe IR stint.
Yeah.
So I think one report even said maybe season ending.
And he looked good.
Yeah, he looks good.
He came back and I shouldn't be surprised because he's literally built like
He's a freak athlete.
Was it $1 Million Man? Wasn't that the TV show?
Yeah, Steve Austin.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
So
We can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Yeah.
He was the
We do.
$1 million.
Yeah. So yeah.
Good. Very well.
Good analysis. Very strong, sound
Very well
analysis.
I don't know what else to say.
Oh, you're worried about DeAndre Swift?
If I was worried about him, I wouldn't trade for him.
Oh, that's
Should you be?
He's
Probably.
hoping for the Kamara effect with Swift to him. Kamara didn't play that much and was kind of like hit or miss while he was on your team. Goes to Mikkel, balls out. Swift hasn't played much this year for you. You're hoping that he stays on the field when he's on your team.
With his balls out.
Yes.
If he wants to put his balls out, that's fine.
Swiftly.
2022.
His balls out.
Do what you want.
Got Sean Watson in trouble.
Last thing I want to ask you, Brian, about this trade. What do you think? All right, so again, Darnell Mooney's part of this trade as well. Darnell Mooney has looked pretty good over the past couple of weeks. With Justin Fields looking pretty good over the past couple of weeks.
Michael
Feeling pretty good about Mooney?
There's more hope involved in Mooney.
Okay.
Mooney's not the main part of that trade. He's just a tag along.
Okay. And then Leonard Fournette, that bolsters your running back situation.
Yeah, the way I was looking at it, he's either one of those guys is just a flex play for me, or DK would just be my third receiver. I really like Pickens moving forward. I know Tyler, he sent me a couple trades for him. I know he was looking ahead of that schedule.
For Pickens?
I think he's gonna be really good. So I mean, Fournette, if he sits on the bench, I was just tired of looking at DeAndre Swift, and I know that's how Bryan was with
That's how
Kamara.
I was with Kamara.
Yeah,
I just
like,
want to make
he's-
sure I sent him a good trade because I wanted Swift. That's what it really comes down to.
You had Swift last year?
Mhm.
Is that right?
But I feel like Swift has got the thing where he's very good, and then they figured out Jamal Williams in the red zone is fantastic. So
Yep.
they're going to keep him in those roles. Whereas Tampa Bay, Rashad White's getting a lot more run
Yeah.
than he like anybody else last year. Like Leo Fournette was the only show in town
Yeah.
last year, so
Still
I don't know if they're trying to keep him fresh for the playoffs that they're not going to make. I don't know.
Who
They
knows in
still
that
could.
division?
I
I
don't know.
mean,
That division is due.
You could have a 4 or 5 win team win that division.
Yeah.
Very possible. Very possible.
Stupid.
All right, so now for our special edition, our mid-season fantasy football awards. We have completed 8 weeks. We have 8 weeks until the finals. So, again, what we're looking at here, what are our thoughts on fantasy football mid-year? First, fantasy MVP halfway through the season.
does anybody want to
Who
start?
we
off?
starting with?
Whoever wants it. I can go. I'll go first.
Okay.
Drop some knowledge.
My fantasy football MVP. When I looked at it, when it came down to, again, who's putting up the most points, who is a...
Please, for the love of God, finish your sentence.
All right.
That should get used a lot more. And the fact that it's just now being used in this, it's been a waste.
All right, I said Josh Allen. I know.
I thought you were about to take my pick. I thought you were about to take mine.
I know. Look, when I looked at it, I'm like, shit,
I agree with you. That's my pick
Yeah,
as well.
Josh Allen. I mean, again,
That's
he's
my
the
pick as well.
high-scoring player.
Consistent.
Yeah, he's consistent. It helps. Ryan has additional value with Josh Allen, figuring that Stephon Diggs is a top 3 receiver.
I wouldn't have picked him if I didn't
So
draft
again,
Diggs.
when I look at fantasy MVP, who produces week in, week out, who has a potential to put up the highest score each and every week and still provide a very high floor, it's Josh Allen. He has 20 less rushing yards than Jalen Hurts, and I know that we've been talking about Jalen Hurts running the ball. Josh Allen, he gets overlooked by how well he can run it as
And
well.
he doesn't play in the fourth quarter in like half the games.
Yeah, so my pick, Josh Allen.
Yeah, good call. I like it. I
Can't
second that.
dispute
No.
I second it.
Oh, they give me all this shit.
I know.
Thank you for backing me up.
I had you.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to go a little different just because everyone else is going to say Josh Allen. I'm going to go to a person who I didn't see being the MVP but has put up very consistent stats. I'm gonna say Nick Chubb, the number one.
Chubby Chubb.
The number one running back on the season.
Your limb's only slightly
and
shorter
is
than one.
actually ahead of every receiver, which is also very difficult to do in fantasy with PPR format, considering Nick Chubb doesn't catch the ball.
I don't know if Chubb's ever finished top 10 running
Yeah,
back.
and right now
PPR.
he is the only non-quarterback in the top 10 in fantasy rankings. So I went with Nick Chubb. He's 10 points ahead of Austin Eckler in fantasy points on the year. A team that still is not playing without their starting quarterback, who comes back in 2 weeks, and has early in the season a lot of opportunities that were being taken by Kareem Hunt, but have now gone directly to him because he is a beast with the ball. So I just want to do something a little different
Chubby Chubb.
bring up Nick Chubb's name. In
So
this.
we got 3 Josh Allens, 1 Chubb. Giggity.
So we got. I'm a Josh Allen.
Yeah, me, you, and Bryan were Josh
4.
Allen. Scorp Allen.
Nah, mine's different too. Like Jake, I'm going with Tyreek Hill. I didn't think he was going to be where he was at when you drafted him right at the beginning of the year. That's why when you said you were going to be different, I was like, damn, he's going to take my pick. But yeah, for me, it's Tyreek. I didn't think he was going to have this kind
I
of
had
season.
him and Chubb as 2, and then I looked at the rankings, and Hill and Diggs are tied for fantasy receivers. And then I was like, holy
and
crap.
Diggs has had a bye and Tyreek hasn't.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. So that's something else to even consider with
That is something else.
They didn't have a bye.
No, I think their bye was week 10, if
Is
I'm
it?
not mistaken.
No.
Or no.
I think they did have a bye, didn't they?
Is this
Miami?
No, it's 11, week 11.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
they hadn't had
You're right.
Yeah, 145.9 for Diggs, 145.1 for Hill. But everybody thought Hill could fall off without Pat Mahomes, like we talked about earlier, and it hadn't happened.
Nope, has not happened at all. All right, so our fantasy MVP goes to
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. All right, so second, we went from the highest peak to the lowest low. The biggest bust of the 2022 fantasy football season goes to
award?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Russell.
I mean,
Yeah,
I can
I've
bring
got
in
one.
another quarterback into that conversation.
I got okay.
Neither one of those got, well, I guess none of them got drafted high.
All right, so Jake,
Tom
you want to
Brady
bring
was-
yours up?
Tom Brady was even later. I know he was drafted in the
it's not a
15th
bust. Call that
round, but
the
he,
season.
One of them's not the greatest of all time, though.
Brett
Russell
Favre
Wilson's
retired a long
not
time
the
ago.
greatest of all time.
Najee in the first round.
Najee's mine.
Najee's
Najee's mine.
Yeah. Najee was mine.
He's been traded multiple times because nobody really wants a part
He's been
of him.
traded more times than he's been traded, if to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All right.
One of the trades got beat.
Yeah.
it's Najee.
Yeah, Najee's mine. Yeah.
I can't consider him a bust because
Next.
I didn't think he was going to be good.
So I got again where he got drafted again, like biggest bust.
Yeah.
You get
So as far
somebody in the
as your
first round,
return,
you expect, especially if they haven't played every game.
Yeah, your return on value is not bad.
So I'm a Najee.
I'm Najee.
Najee. 3.
I'm going Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
I'm gonna say.
Well, it could be Jonathan Taylor. That's injury.
I was gonna say he was another one I was.
But
looking
he
at.
was not doing well before he got hurt.
He wasn't.
And that was
He did
number,
good week
that was
one,
the
that
number
was
one
it.
overall pick.
That's a pretty good point.
You know?
I think he's had 1 week over
25. He had week 1 against Houston.
And then what's his other fantasy output?
12 was the next
I was
highest.
about to say, I think he's only been double digit one other week.
Yeah.
You going Jonathan Taylor?
That's the
It's
like,
tough
that
to
was
do.
supposed to be the surefire number one. Like you're like, oh McCaffrey, but he can't stay healthy. Now John
Yeah,
Taylor.
let me
can't
take
stay
that.
healthy. And he ain't even look good when he's on the field.
And he does look good.
What about Buddy? Could he handle
Buddy
it?
saw his rock.
So who you going with?
I'm gonna go Jonathan Taylor now.
Jonathan Taylor. Okay, he's
Talk
talking into it.
You just talked him into it.
A lot of people were questioning Harris before the draft, anyways. Like,
Not that guy.
Not that
well,
one.
no, but Taylor was like everyone's number one, and he has
He got
been
it stabbed
bad.
more than he's already been stabbed.
Grab that knife out of your back, put it right.
Maybe Eli Mitchell will work out.
Yeah, that's good looking good.
He's got an open window to.
Yeah, he's got carries
get a lot of
galore when he
touches.
comes back.
And then you're going with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
All right, so biggest bust goes to Najee Harris. All right, best pickup of the fantasy football season.
ooh, I gotta remember who got drafted. Who didn't?
I got a couple I want to throw out there. One of them goes to this guy sitting to my right, Brian Roberts, Chris Olave.
Every year.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's a freaking stud on the freaking waiver wire.
Who drafted Olave?
Broach.
Okay.
Broach drafted Olave, dropped him before week 1. You spent $22, and you went out and you said, Chris Olave's my guy. You'd been talking him up during the draft. Everybody that came up to the board and they were looking at the wide receivers, just like, hey, I'll take Olave.
Hey.
Hey.
How about
probably
this
take
guy?
Olave.
I
Hey.
wouldn't lie to you.
So, I want to bring up Chris Olave. He's looked like a stud as the number one option in that offense. Number one receiving option in that offense. Then they've lost Michael Thomas for what seems like the year, and Jarvis Landry.
Brandon Robinson gets shot. This is 4 weeks.
Brian.
What?
Brandon Robinson was a bad.
That's what I was talking about. Gets shot. This is 4 weeks. Thomas hurts his toe and he's out for the fucking season.
You're right.
Bitch.
You're right. Also want to bring up one other player. Pickup of my own, Jamal Williams.
I thought you were going to Garrett Wilson.
Nah, but he's turning the corner.
The $100 man.
He's turning the corner. But Jamal Williams, second NFL in rushing touchdowns.
5 terrible games.
He wants to say so much. He wants to say so much.
I really don't. I don't know.
Yeah, so Jamal Williams is another.
Jamal Williams is a good.
I don't know. I can look.
Look it up.
What did you say?
Philly's
Did Philly's
defense.
defense get drafted?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I drafted him, didn't I? No. I didn't draft a defense at all. Never did. I picked them up, though. They're like top 35 or top 40 in fantasy points.
Yeah. That's
across the
good
league,
pickup.
not just for defenses, because that would be impossible to beat.
I was
30
gonna say,
different
there's-
defenses. You know, those backup defenses. Alabama's defense showed up for a week.
E-Bugs.
Yeah, Ebo defenses.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Just a whole section comes down and plays.
It's Olave for me.
Yeah, Lave's a good one. I was thinking Deontay Foreman could turn into one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking
But it's too
foreshadow.
early
Yeah,
to tell. It's
foreshadow.
only been like 2 or 3 weeks.
That's what the end of the year awards are for.
Yes.
That is true. Okay.
It's hard to look at other people's teams.
No, it's
Pick
not.
up
You
shots.
got that right there.
Because I
Yeah.
don't,
Right
remember,
now.
I don't remember who got drafted and who didn't, or they got drafted. Like Olave got drafted, but he didn't get drafted by the team that he's currently on, so that is a pickup. So it's tough for me to do this.
What about Geno Smith?
Is he on a roster?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Tyler's got him.
Tyler's team.
I think he's been on a lot of people's.
That's still a
I
great
picked him
pickup,
up. I
yeah.
picked him up for a bye week start.
I think
and other
he's
people
more
don't.
like surprised within NFL, but he's not been used consistently enough.
Yeah, he's not been plug and play. Like Olave will
fantasy.
not come out of Brian's lineup probably the rest of the year. I wouldn't think.
No.
Okay, I'm not gonna put words in your mouth.
He's so angry.
Yeah, he said, no, God, calm down.
I wasn't mad at it. No.
Another one that I'd just like to bring up, Devonta Smith wasn't drafted, and he's looked pretty solid as the number 2 receiver.
Devonta Smith wasn't drafted.
I don't think so.
I thought he was.
No,
drafted.
he had to.
It would
He had
have
to
been
been
late as hell
drafted.
because everybody.
I'm
had
always
to have been
100% sure he
All
was.
right.
drafted.
I can't. I gotta go through.
Oh,
all
it's
these.
easy. Isn't it?
Well,
I'm
it's
doing it
easier
right
on the
now. Blah, blah,
computer.
blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. It's the same thing.
No, I gotta go through all this.
I'm just gonna look at the draft board.
Oh, do that.
That's what I was.
No, I didn't think about that.
No, he didn't think about it.
I was gonna go through the whole daggone Yahoo fantasy football system.
Nah, Devontae Smith had to get drafted.
I feel I didn't remember him getting drafted. Maybe he did. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. It's happened a time or two before.
Who's got him?
Andrew.
I'm not saying
Yeah, he's got him. Why is that? Yeah.
If Van Jefferson.
Draft him in the 9th
It's
round.
2021.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe it's just one of those I forgot.
I was looking 2021. He didn't get
You
drafted.
drafted him in the
2021.
9th round.
Oh, okay. I just forgot. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chris Olave as well.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
love
pick.
it.
Olave.
Olave.
Olave. All right. Best pickup goes to Chris Olave. And this is the last category is a category named by Mr. Robertson over here, the Starry-Eyed Surprise.
Yes.
Sundown to sunrise. I'm not gonna finish.
Man, we was hoping you'd sing the whole thing.
You're only gonna dance part of the night.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, just again, like biggest surprise, this could go to a player, this could go to a NFL team, it could go to a fantasy team, just anything that kind of stands out from fantasy football season that you just did not see happen.
We've talked about it all podcast so far. Tyreek Hill having a chance to have his best season, not touchdown wise, but catches and yards without Patrick Mahomes. For me, it's a big old surprise.
Geno Smith again.
So Geno's ranked 7th in fantasy players. Russell Wilson is ranked 40th. So.
And which side of
that's
that
a
trade got all the draft picks?
That's a surprise.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like that was a mistake?
Hey,
Can we
his
name
team
that
got more
situation
wins.
as a surprise? Like the gap between Geno and Russell Wilson? That's a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I bring up another quarterback that
You
has
said
been
what
a
number was
little-
Russell?
40th. 40th ranked.
How many teams are there in the NFL? 32?
Maybe.
So I usually think like it's top 32.
Well, you
I got a big surprise too. Go ahead.
Carson Wentz is ahead of him in fantasy points on the year.
That's
Carson Wentz, Derek Carr, Brissett is ahead of him. And here's the other name, not as consistent.
PJ Walker's coming up quick.
He's only 2 points behind him.
Trevor Lawrence. He's actually been somewhat fantasy relevant throughout the season. He's been more inconsistent, but he's had games of 31, 26, 22.
He's coming.
I mean, he's had a couple of like bigger
Russell
games.
Wilson's been doo-doo.
Yeah. So I was just kind of scrolling through, and I was like, man, I forgot Trevor Lawrence. He's a top 15 fantasy player ahead of Cousins, Herbert, Tua. I know he's missed some. Daniel Jones, Tom Brady. I mean, who would have thought that Trevor Lawrence would have been ahead of those names?
Not that guy. Not this guy. I got one for Ryan's team. Biggest surprise, A.J. Dillon.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not.
That's not really the story. That's the doom.
That's more the
doomsday
doo-doo bust type thing. But there hasn't been a good player on that offense yet. Aaron Jones had like 2 good games.
Yeah.
But the entire Packers team, some idiot picked them to win the Super Bowl in the first episode of the show.
It was you.
This guy right here.
Who was it?
I panicked because I was going to copy your picks. So
Yeah, you did.
And then I didn't copy your picks, but then I just took your picks from last year, copied them.
Yeah, you should have took my picks from this year because they're looking.
Since we are halfway through the season, what are those picks?
Let's see.
While he pulls that up, I want to bring up one other name.
Do it.
On your team, JT.
Oh, okay.
No. Yes. Who's got Josh Jacobs?
No, that's
Jordan.
Jordan. Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
look at Jordan's team as a whole. But Josh Jacobs, who was it 3 years ago, was a first round pick, and 4 years ago,
He was a first round pick. They didn't pick up. his
Raiders didn't
option
even pick
this
up his
year.
option. Looked like that dude might be kind of worked out of the offense, and he's put up a lot of really good games so far this year.
Yeah, he went 3 straight 30. All right,
And
Super
Miles
Bowl
Sanders.
picks. Yes. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
throwing
go.
2 names in there who I thought were
Super
previous
Bowl
first round
picks. Bryan has Bills over 49ers. Pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty
don't look
decent.
bad. Don't look bad.
Jake said the Broncos over the Vikings.
I was way off.
He was riding with Russell Wilson.
JT said Dolphins over Eagles. Looked pretty good.
Yeah, wow.
Michael had the same pick as Bryan, just opposite team winning, 49ers over the Bills. And I had the Packers over the Chiefs. And I flip-flopped between the Packers and the Eagles and said, nah, Aaron Rodgers, going Packers. What an idiot I am.
You never know.
Don't be hard.
Never know.
What an idiot this guy.
I mean, I only put like my mortgage on it, you know.
Well, yeah.
I don't want to.
All right.
Don't talk to me.
Well, so our story house surprise goes to Geno Smith.
I'm piggybacking.
I'll go with Gino on that, yeah.
I like the Geno.
Yeah, that ain't a bad pick.
I was going to piggyback on Ryan and say, would you think at the beginning of the year Tua would have 2 receivers in the top 5?
Yes.
Or just 2 wide receiver 1?
You did.
Well, you had the Dolphins. You picked them to go to the Super Bowl and win, but I did not see that.
Hey, for all your Dolphins fantasy football
We'll come to
knowledge,
you.
you just come to me.
Man, when I was looking at the Dolphins for the season, they had a chance to be the fastest offense in football. And they pretty much are.
Because Raheem Mostert's freaking. I
They have
mean,
a track star.
people
and
forget
Raheem
how
Mostert-
fast he is.
They got another track star in Tyree.
Yeah.
Another track star in Waddle.
Waddle.
And then Gesicki's still a matchup problem.
Gesicki's probably one of the more athletic, fast tight ends in the league.
If you had just a lesser number 2 wide receiver, Gesicki would have a bigger role.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
Gesicki could do fine.
Yeah, I do too.
I think he
Gesicki's
would be
had-
a top 10 tight end in football this year.
I think he's
It's
he's
just
close to that. Actually,
the
who's got
weapons.
Gesicki?
I don't think.
Does anybody?
I don't
have
think
Gesicki?
anybody has Gesicki.
No, somebody does have Gesicki.
Somebody's got
So I looked at him on the bench.
Broach maybe? No.
Broach might have picked up Gesicki because he had Waller, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nope, free agent again.
Is he a
Is
free
he?
agent?
But I think they might be on. No, they don't have that. Let's talk about
nah.
it. All right, you got Gesicki. Let's see, 0.6 week 1, 12.1, 1.1, 3.3, 3.5, 21.9, 4.2, 11.3. So he's had
Up
two
and down.
or three good games and a bunch of like disappearing. He's not part of the offense like Bryan was saying, but when they actually choose to use him,
He is
he's been
10th.
very good.
Well, it's the tight end position again. Like you're gonna.
It's just volatile.
You got a couple guys that are going to be consistent, and then from there you're pretty much just hoping that a guy blows up that week,
Right.
and that's essentially what
As far as
Gesicki's
tight ends go, man.
What's
2 in the hundreds, 2 in the 80s, 2 in the 70s, 1 in the 60s, and then 3 in the 50s.
What's your top 5?
Kelsey first,
Dylan.
123.
Dylan.
Second is Andrews
Dylan.
at 100. Third is Goddard at 84, who he called before the season.
Yes.
Great call.
Good call.
Taysom Hill would
Sleeper.
put him
I
fourth.
can't do it, man.
And Zach Ertz fifth.
Hey.
But I
It's on
think
your
Hawkinson in Minnesota now, I think he'll he's sick.
Irv Smith was supposed to be a massive part of that offense coming in this year,
Yeah.
and he just can't stay healthy.
Where you go to school?
Alabama. Boom.
Mom, where does Dad go to school?
Alabama.
I don't know. I just know he's Irv Smith Jr.
I don't think
He could.
Oh,
Legacy.
Did he
You
do
just
that?
made up his college. I believe you.
San Jose State, man. Come on, everybody know that.
All right, so big surprise. Gino?
Yeah.
Gino. All right, Gino Smith.
I'm going with Dolphins, yeah. Well, Tua being able to sustain 2 top 5 wide receivers, I didn't see.
You saw it. Nobody else saw it.
He likes Tua.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, they've got Mike McDaniel coming over from San Francisco. They're going to be a run-first offense.
They're going to air it out,
They're
baby.
gonna-
They're going to throw
They're
more
going to chuck it all 30 yards so Tua can throw it.
Hey, but those guys are going to come down with it. So
Yeah,
it
Cliff
works.
Franklin.
It works. All right, well, our mid-year fantasy football awards.
We're good. I think we're good.
Our mid-year fantasy football awards wrap
I'll tell you
up.
if you need to be worried.
And we jump to our Week 9 fantasy football preview
All right.
with our first matchup of Bryan versus Andrew.
Is that the first one?
Yeah.
How about that? It's already pulled up.
I
on the
went
screen.
in order of closeness.
Well, I just typed in matchup and it happened to be the one that pops up on the screen because it's my
That's
login
not
account. So
my
it's
lineup
pretty
Hey.
convenient.
Wonderful story there, Ryan.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, so we have an original projection of a 128 for the Fantasy Phenoms. We have an original projection of 90.4 for Smith Schuster and the
I
Jujus.
think those are live.
Those are live projections.
Original 129.4 for Fantasy Phenoms. Original 97.6 for Smith Schuster and the Jujus.
Live projection 128 to 90 in favor of Fantasy Phenoms.
Nailed it.
Kim Walker's looked pretty good for you, Ryan.
Thank you, buddy.
He has, ever since he got the starting job in the middle of Week 5, with Rashad Penny going down, he's been double digits every week.
Hear what Pete Carroll came out and said, I think, yesterday?
What'd he say?
The team hasn't yet cut loose Ken Walker.
Well, then he might blow up this week.
He's
playing
very
Arizona.
clear. He's
Give
a
an
clear
update on when
guy,
he's going to do it.
and we know who he is and how he sees things. I think he has big games ahead. He didn't run the ball well last week, and he made a couple terrific plays. I think we're going to see even more.
So I'm going to go bold
cricket
on that
as
and go
shit.
over 100 yards and a touchdown coming from
All right, what's going to be bold? Is that first half or second half?
He has.
Jake's like,
He only has one game of 100 yards rushing,
He's only started, what, 2?
but he's got a touchdown in all 4 games.
All right, so you
Damn,
said,
100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, hey, he's done that before, but
Jake, it's my player. I want you to keep going. Go.
Ken
Do it.
Walker. He's
102 tutties.
But don't you need it for whenever you look up next week and keep your list right?
maybe. AJ Dillon is starting for Ryan.
You're
Yeah.
going with him over Drake?
I don't have Drake.
Drake
I don't have the Drake. Gus Edwards hasn't practiced all week. Oh, I do have Drake London, but
So you do have a Drake.
What about Clyde?
I
You
have-
gonna throw Clyde in there?
Hey!
You gonna throw Clyde in there?
do I want to?
Yeah, you
You
do.
know I do. But Clyde didn't play in Detroit.
Is he gonna score a touchdown this week?
Clyde?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to have like 17 yards and a touchdown.
What about your pickup you had this morning,
Which one did I pick up this morning?
Jackson?
Deshaun Jackson? Well,
He's gonna be
I picked up Likely on what, Tuesday or when's our waivers run? Wednesday.
Now, likely is going to start.
Yeah, because
Likely's
I didn't
gonna
think
start.
Andrews was going to play.
And that's pretty much his main option for
Yeah.
football.
So I was like, all right, I want a piece of that passing option since Bateman has been announced out for the year.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, somebody dropped Van Jefferson. I really like him. And then I said the Rams offense has been terrible besides
Hit
Cup.
that button about finishing your sentence.
Ask me questions and then not let me talk about it.
direct question. I just want to know if we're going to start the motherfucker.
No.
I'm not going to do it.
That's all I need to know.
No, but Deshaun Jackson, I just want to see what he's going to do. I just picked him up as a flyer.
Stashing too.
Yeah, if it happens to work out that he ends up being the number 1 offense, if they lose Bateman and Andrews,
Mm-hmm.
could work out. He's going to be my wide receiver 6 or something. So
This matchup's going to be.
I got a
within
bold
5
call for
points.
Ryan's team.
All
Bold
right,
call for
all
Ryan's team.
Monroe St. Brown's going for 25 plus.
I'm a ma.
Touchdowns, fantasy points.
25 plus fantasy points. I don't think he's going to
I
score
was hoping
25
touchdowns. Come on, Mike.
Is Lazard
That'd
and
be
Connor
like
going to
that high
play?
school football game.
Connor's like a true game
Oh, the one
time
that played
decision
first half.
on
Did you watch the clip?
Yeah.
What it?
It's 98-0 at halftime.
Yeah, they stopped the game at half. It was every time they
98 to
should.
nothing at half.
Over half the touchdowns were the center snapped the ball over the quarterback's head and it went into the end zone. It was hard to watch. All right, continue.
Yeah, James Conner, like you said, they said game time decision as usual.
I know.
That's what it says on Yahoo Fantasy Football.
That was
As per usual.
That was
You
Steven
might not have
Jackson.
it.
Steven Jackson, Steven Jackson hasn't practiced all week. Game time decision. Comes in for the St. Louis Rams, 28 carries, like 100 and some yards and a touchdown every game. Why practice if you don't need it? James Conner doesn't practice ever and then doesn't play.
And the other one you brought up, Jake, was Alan Lazard.
Lazard.
Again, also a game time decision. So, Rams City might have to make a couple switches. One of the switches I would say would be, I think, Rondell Moore.
And Dobbs.
Over Jeff Wilson, right?
Yeah.
I was confused on that. I looked at it, I was like, hold on, he got who in there?
He just got there, and Mostert's been doing pretty well.
Yeah, he hasn't played bad.
And Rondell Moore just had, what?
19.
19?
Yeah, like 100 a touchdown or something.
Maybe
close to
he's
that.
holding him there in case he's got to switch him and Lazard, but wouldn't Dobbs be the obvious
Dobbs
one?
would be the one for
Lazard's
Lazard.
out.
Playing
Yeah.
If that's the
Detroit.
case, I'd put Rondell Moore in my
playing
wide
Detroit.
receiver spot and put Lazard in my flex if Lazard has to come out.
Then wouldn't you keep Wilson available in case Connor's out? Like, I wouldn't want to play Wilson there at 1 o'clock in case Connor is out.
I mean, he doesn't have a ton of options. A lot of his bench is on bye.
You know what I mean? Like,
I
at least
know
if
what
you
you mean.
put Connor in your flex right there, you can switch him and Moore pretty easily because they're on the same team and
Yeah.
start at the same time. So,
But that means you're locking in Jeff Wilson Jr. into your wide receiver two. So, I mean, running back 2 spot. Which you don't have. He doesn't have much of a choice because he doesn't have any running backs on his bench.
Yeah, he ain't really got many options. And I'm looking at the waiver wire, too, and there's
not
nothing.
been anything. Trust me,
Nothing for
I've
running
been
back.
searching for weeks on there.
There isn't
It's a
anybody that ought to be
weird
like,
place,
hey, maybe they might score a touchdown. Maybe they might get 5 catches. There ain't nobody on the waiver wire.
I just wait for someone to say that someone's injured and quickly add their backup if they're not already
Yeah.
owned.
I did that. I've done that. It's not fun when you look at your bench like, I can't play this guy unless somebody gets hurt. I can't play this guy unless somebody gets hurt. And then that person gets
Whole
hurt, you
team.
feel like a genius. But if nobody gets hurt, then you don't have a bench. You have to start the same lineup every single week.
Taysom Hill throws a passing touchdown.
You're
I'm
gonna keep
going
this
with
trademark?
this one. Yeah,
Alternate weeks.
okay.
These were all some weeks.
Can I just say that like AJ Dillon scores a touchdown? That'd be bold enough
Dude, he
because
hasn't
his
scored
stats
since week
are
1.
so
He
bad.
hasn't scored since
that's
week 1.
bold.
Yeah.
So since week 1, I mean, he's been pretty bad. So can I just go AJ Dillon?
Yeah,
all the time?
Yeah, you can. I'm not going to type it, but you can do it.
You're gonna.
I wrote it.
Thank you.
I've already started typing it, buddy.
Scorp, you got a bold prediction?
None yet.
I forgot it was here.
We got any more predictions for this matchup? Actually, I do. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, 55 plus.
All right.
I feel like you're just reoccurring here.
Yeah.
I have a bold prediction.
All right.
Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs combined for 60 plus.
Oh,
He said,
take that.
Yours
for
don't
the
look so bold anymore.
Well, I thought about saying it before, but I didn't think it was that bold.
I'm afraid they
Then
might
you heard
get
the
up so
55,
big.
you're like, oh yeah,
They really
definitely
lied.
bold.
They really
That's
lied.
it's definitely bold.
As bad as the Jets' offense looks right now,
I want to
and
make
as good as that
formal
defense is,
prediction.
godly, Jets are going to get goose egg this week.
Make a formal prediction.
Jets
Let's hear
are
it.
gonna
Let's
get
hear
goose
it.
They're going against the Bills.
Back-
It wouldn't be that
touchdowns.
bold, though.
Well,
That's
look.
what he did last week.
Yeah, but again, that is an outlier within his NFL career.
I can't do it. I can't think of one that'd be good
All
enough.
right. All right, so we're taking in this matchup of the Fantasy Phenoms versus Smith, Schuster, and the Jujus.
Ryan going Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan.
That's sweet.
Ryan.
Yes.
Yes.
Ryan. All right, clean sweep goes to Ryan.
Ryan.
All right, our second matchup of Week 9, we have Tyler versus Jake. Little family feud.
All right.
Been waiting all year. So we have a live projection of 121 for Autonomy is American, and we have an original projection of 103 for Turd Sandwiches.
That's all I got.
All right.
You picked up Drew Carter with Keenan Allen being out, Mike Williams being out. Drew.
DeAndre.
I thought it was Drew. Cool. DeAndre Carter.
DeAndre, if you put a W at the bottom. Still not
Okay.
Drew. Young Carter.
Anyways, DeAndre Carter. You
Yeah.
picked him up, Jake, starting, putting him in your lineup.
I don't have another choice.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
I'm really intrigued by Tony.
me
really
too.
intrigued in
I've been wanting to
starting
send you
him
a
this
trade the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You
The
think
one
it's
thing
just
that made me a
second
little
time you said
nervous
that.
was Andy Reid saying that they're slowly going to progress him in. I
Yeah,
think
hard time
after
breaking
this
up
week
you
he'll
guys,
be a
but
reoccurring theme in my lineup. But
Didn't they come out today and say that he was gonna complement the wide receivers well or
yes,
something on the team?
I kind of want to still work him in. It's just the only reason Carter's in because Williams and
Allen being out.
Allen being out, which what a wasted pick Allen's been for me. I got a solid 2 quarters out of him this season.
I've been there, buddy.
He looks so
You
good.
go to
Those
the
two
why I'm
quarters,
here.
though.
Almost finished.
I didn't know what you were doing.
I'm not doing anything. I'm holding.
All I see is this right here.
I didn't tell you.
I'm a righty.
So if you wanna unload Kadarius Toney,
Speaking of
I'm your
unloading,
guy.
you want to unload.
I'm your guy. That's who I
And
was.
if you want to unload Keenan Allen, let me know.
Yeah,
Sounds
He can
good.
send me from your bench to mine.
So we've been talking about Geno Smith quite a bit with our again kind of surprise of the season. Geno Smith in the starting lineup for Tyler this week
I like
against
that.
Arizona.
Who's he usually been starting? Dak.
Mm-hmm.
He's doubling up with him and Lockett.
Now, last time he played Arizona, he put up 12.6.
Yeah,
That was a
that's
couple
a good
weeks
stat.
ago,
That's a
right?
good stat. Yeah, that was like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
I think that might have been the Kenneth Walker game.
I think ETN is
Where he
going to
came
be
in
the
for
stud
him.
of the matchup this week. I think
High
he's
scoring.
going. I think he'll be the highest scoring out of non-quarterbacks.
Okay.
Who'd you say?
That
ETN?
make- Yes.
Highest non-QB.
I know Justin Jefferson's probably going to go off for like 40, but still.
You'll put that one down too?
No, but I think he's going to have a lot of opportunity against Vegas, and I could just see him having a really good game.
I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson, 100 yards, 2 scores.
Ooh.
Okay.
I don't think he's scored a receiving touchdown since week 1, right? I know he rushed one in
Nope.
London. Yeah, in London he rushed for one, but I don't think he's had a receiving since week 1.
No, he's got a
He's
2
gonna double up
For the
conversion.
second overall pick.
Yeah, he's going to double up this week.
And I think Michael had his bold prediction at the beginning of the year. He's going to be the highest flex. Well, wasn't it the highest flex eligible player? In
Yeah,
the
I'm
league?
trying to forget about my picks.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Does that make him a disappointment?
hey, man, I think I had James
Or,
Winston was the top 7 quarterback, and Mike Williams was the top 5
points.
receiver. I'm with you.
Without touchdowns.
All right, I got one for you. Chris Godwin, first touchdown of the season.
I keep making that one. It never happens. So
It's
I
gonna
hope,
happen
I
this
hope
week.
it works
It's
for
gonna
you,
happen this
buddy.
week.
I hope it works for you.
Thank you.
I mean, I know he's not on your team, but I still hope it works for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Deion Jackson, I am interested to see what he does with Jonathan Taylor being out. Because
Yeah.
last time that Jonathan Taylor was out, Deion Jackson got the start with Naheem Hines out as well.
30 touches or something crazy.
Yeah, he did. They checked down a lot in that game. If I remember correctly, yeah, he had 10 catches.
Yeah, 23 fantasy points that week.
Yeah.
He's the only running back they have.
He
And
either gets double digits or negative.
here's the issue: he's going against
Boom
New
or
England.
bust.
Yeah.
Which apparently New England does a lot better against the pass than they do against the run, but he makes his money in the passing game, so I don't know. I have to start 2 running backs according to Yahoo, so there it is.
You got Damian Harris.
He hasn't
Thanks.
practiced all week. He's
Yeah.
You sounded like James Robertson when you said that.
You kind
I
of did.
put Drake.
Like, who's that?
Not that James Robertson.
Oh.
You be the daddy.
the cool one.
Put Drake in because it looks like Gus might miss.
You got to go with Drake.
Again, he had a good week when he's the only running back on the team. Apparently, if there's anyone that can challenge him, he gets scared and sucks. But when it's just him,
He's a beta for sure.
okay.
If he's the only show in town.
It's not gonna be close. I got Tyler.
What would you do if
What would you do?
Dre, what's your McCall? Gus did play?
Pray for an injury.
Like, what would you? Okay.
Kadarius?
Yeah, I've even gone thinking about putting Drake over Michael Carter and maybe even taking Michael Carter out because of
Yeah.
I got another one.
Tony.
Kadarius Toney, best game of the season.
Nope, not
Oh
typing
no
that.
shit! I'm not writing that one down. He wouldn't give me Dak.
Nope, not typing.
All right, Kadarius Toney touchdown.
Well, that's
Kadarius Toney
okay.
touchdown. Me typey.
Okay, okay,
Me
yeah.
typey touchdown.
Kadarius Toney touchdown, and Jake trades him to me.
Well, I mean,
Damian.
he's got a lot of work to get to your. What did you have him as? Top 5 wide receiver?
No, top 12.
Was top 12? Okay, still.
Talent's there.
Talent is there.
Talent's there.
Talent is there.
Talent is there.
Now, I did say also that he can be top 12 receiver or he can be kicked off the team.
He's right.
Yeah.
But what happens if he turns out to be a top 12 receiver?
Then I was right on both.
But you said either.
Does that mean he's got kicked off the Chief because he was a top 12 receiver with them?
No, Ryan, just
Just
no.
one team. Just 8.
Yeah, okay, all right. Who you taking in this matchup? Tyler.
Sorry, Jake. You went Tyler.
I'm saying sorry.
I
I
just-
just first.
I think it's part of this week.
Tyler. All right, another dude. 2 clean sweeps.
Bold prediction: Adams and Kirk combined for 40.
Ooh.
Yeah, Christian Kirk.
Ryan,
really
typey.
good At the beginning of the
I'm
season.
typing matchup. Me now typing bold prediction.
You said Adams and
Kirk.
40 plus.
I hope he kind of reemerges. He's the one that got stuffed at the 1, right? Last week, or was it 2 weeks ago when they were?
Last week they played in London, right?
Mhm.
Isn't
I
that
think
weird?
it
I
was
thought
in London.
every time they play in London they get a bye afterwards because the Broncos.
No,
have
they
a
haven't
bye.
done that this year.
Yeah,
I don't know
because
why.
of how many more games have been international this year.
I guess so. Because I know the Giants, they played in London, and then
Who's playing in Germany?
again.
That's
So was-
already happened, didn't it?
No,
Was
I
there
think
already a
they-
game in Germany?
No,
There's
no,
supposed
it's
to be
coming
one in
up.
Germany.
Yeah, there is one.
He
coming
did.
up.
Yeah,
You
when
want-
when
you
y'all
want-
hosting?
How much did you say for that?
That's funny. All right, clean sweep goes to Tyler. All right, matchup 3, we have Broach versus Mikkel. We have a live projection of 105 for sale. We have an original projection of 113 for the league versus me. AJ Brown went on
My
Thursday
man
night.
setting his lineup.
I did. I told JT I was gonna do it.
Fancy,
So.
I know this would
That's what looks odd.
this
about
would
it.
have changed things if I'd have known that he set his lineup. AJ Brown 13.9 on. Oh shit! Aaron Carter died, and you got his brother's tattoo on your hand.
Aaron Carter.
The one that beat Shaq. Nobody else have that album but me?
Talking about
The Backstreet Boys brother?
Yeah, Aaron Carter had a song, like number 2 on his album that said that's how
We
we beat Shaq. So I played a
interrupted
one-on-one basketball
Fantasy
game with him at the
football
party.
talk for Aaron Carter.
Well, because he's got his
got a
brother's
Nick Carter
initials
tattoo on
on his hand.
Now, when you think of NC, what do you think of?
What drug did he overdose on?
I don't know. I didn't read the thing.
Well, obviously he did if he died.
It just popped up. All right, so AJ Brown went Thursday night, 13.9. Darren Waller is questionable.
He's what now?
Questionable.
Oh, okay.
Looks like for the last several games. So he may be in the lineup, may not be in the lineup for Mr. Broach. Mr. Broach is also starting Eno Benjamin, Devin Duvernay, both of which, again, a couple pickups he's had over the past few weeks.
Pick him up.
And he's doubled up at the tight end position, going Darren Waller and T.J. Hawkinson, who
strategy.
Bryan, you just brought up a few minutes ago.
Highlighted.
Highlight, very good.
Yes.
Duvernay goes for over 100 receiving yards this week.
Ooh. Duvernay, previous high this season is 54 yards. So yeah, that's a big one. Duvernay for 100. All right.
I like it.
So let's see, Michael. Your lineup's going to change a little bit, I would imagine, since you have Swift and Mooney in right now. DK and Fournette both go in the lineup.
Yes, and then I'm still on the fence about maybe starting Fields over Kirk
Fields
Cousins.
over Cousins.
Yeah.
What time's the Minnesota game? 1 o'clock. Yeah, you should be good.
Yeah, they're both playing.
And
at
if
one.
it's after 6, just bench him. Any prime time.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not
Just
playing. Yeah,
bench
definitely
him.
not playing in prime time.
Well, it is a revenge game too. They're playing Washington.
Myers
Yeah.
continues his touchdown streak.
Oh, Jacoby Myers a touchdown in 3 straight weeks. Never happened in his entire football career. That's what Ryan said.
I've never said that.
Ryan said that he's never had a touchdown back-to-back weeks ever in his entire life. You said that last week.
Kirk Cousins goes over 30.
Revenge game playing
Mhm.
Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Touchdown for Jacoby Myers and Kirk Cousins for what? 30?
30 plus.
30 plus.
I've got one.
Oh, let's hear it.
It's gonna be
It's
Josh Allen and Gabe
man.
Davis that go for 55 plus.
Oh, Josh Allen, Gabe Davis.
Just keep making
Link
Allen
up.
So
predictions,
keep making
please.
that.
Well, he was our fantasy MVP of midseason.
You said how many? 50?
55.
50.
Because JT did Diggs and
3-0.
Allen
Yeah,
for
Allen,
55, so I said it's gonna be.
I gotta go swim.
Gotcha. You're saying,
55
hey,
plus.
good prediction, wrong receiver.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
You can't go wrong. It's gotta be one of those two guys.
My backup has to work. He hasn't worked since my birthday, so it takes a minute.
Let's see. I'm going to go with
It's good to get back.
Ramondre Stevenson, best game of the season. Give me 24 plus.
24 plus?
Yeah, 23 is
This
high.
is gonna backfire.
I'll say
I'm gonna score like
24
16
probably.
points.
Yeah.
Dean, man.
You said 24?
24. That's one of those that, like, in the draft when you took him, I was like, ooh, man, if that works out, that is a freaking steal. Even though, again, you probably took him a little bit earlier than most would have. Again, it's just one of those things.
Who we talking about?
If he gets the job,
Ramondre
Stevenson.
I was sitting beside you and I was pissed because I didn't want to take him that next pick right after you. But on that turnaround, Ramondre coming back has been great. Didn't happen.
Are you disappointed, as expected, or surprised with Gabe Davis?
I'm not gonna say disappointed. I figured it was gonna be up and down. The only thing I am disappointed in is that he doesn't get a lot of targets.
No.
I guess only like his big games are still with like 3 or 4 targets. I guess I don't understand why they don't use him more.
The first week, Thursday night, he had that bomb touchdown beginning of the game, and then a few weeks ago when he had
It was 3 for 160.
the Randy
Ran
Moss-
for 171 and 2
game, yeah.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think I felt about Davis the way he feels about Tony.
That
He was going to be a top 12 wide receiver.
And the thing is, he still could be because if he keeps having these huge boom games, those bad ones kind of even out almost when you look at the season long.
Right.
The old Derrick Henry. That's what Derrick Henry used to do every year. Average all season in weeks 14, 15, 16, 17. Just monster games.
Well, let's hope I can make it that far.
Yes.
We hope so.
Don't we all?
No, I don't think y'all do.
All right, so who we
I care
taking?
about your fantasy team. I care about you.
Thanks, man.
Because you're worth it.
That's fair.
I'm taking Michael.
Taking Michael.
Taking Michael. Who's taking Michael?
Jake.
Jake's taking
Jake's
Michael.
taking whatever you want to take.
You got a bold prediction?
No, I think it's taking Michael.
Taking Michael.
Oh,
I thought we were all like, both like, who else is taking Michael?
you raised your hand.
Here,
so I
here.
thought, you know.
No,
Nobody raises their hands
nope,
here.
nothing else.
Okay.
I'm going to go Michael as well.
Brian's going Michael.
Ryan's going Michael.
Ryan's going Michael.
JT needs to mix it up and not go.
I had Stevenson for 24 plus. I'm going Michael.
All right.
I got to get one up on you. I'm going Broach.
Okay.
Oh, looky there.
Nice. So not a clean sweep.
Not a
5-1
sweep.
in favor of Michael. All right. So for our fourth matchup, we have Scorp versus JT.
There you go.
So with a live projection of 122 for the Colder personality and a original projection of 113 for the Scorpion King.
Yes.
See what I did there?
Thank you.
Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders went Thursday night. 24 for Jalen Hurts, 15.3 for Miles Sanders, which takes the Colder personality to 39 as we stand right now.
Yes, as we sit.
As we sit right now. Give me T. Higgins 2 touchdowns.
Tee-hee!
It's here.
Yeah, T. Higgins 2 touchdowns. That's what I got.
Oh, you got on
I
soundboard.
got something for you.
Give me
It's on
Palmer,
screen.
100
man,
plus
for
yards
friends.
and a touchdown.
Ooh.
I like it.
I picked him up last week
You said Josh Palmer?
when he was on bye just
How
because
much?
the whole Keenan Allen
100
thing.
yards and a touchdown.
I'm interested to see what happens.
I got one.
We got to stop talking about Keenan.
Why?
I got one.
He's
for
not-
you.
All right, let's hear it, Michael.
Herbert is going to double Montgomery's points.
Well, that's not for me.
No, it's
Talking
not
about
for you.
Khalil
You
Herbert.
got one right down.
Yeah, Khalil Herbert is going to. Yeah.
Herbert
Doubles Montgomery.
doubles Montgomery.
Yep.
Maybe. If Pollard and Barkley weren't on bye, he wouldn't be in the lineup. He might not be in the lineup either way. I might end up putting the $100 man Garrett Wilson
It's
in
about
there.
time you put me fucking on.
Brian, what was your bold prediction, by the way, buddy?
On what?
I don't know. Didn't you have one at the beginning of this matchup?
I haven't said anything yet.
Okay, good talk.
I
You
got
said
one.
T. That's what it was.
I didn't say anything about it.
CPAT returns for 100 scrimmage yards. And
So I was about to ask you how you felt about his return.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about it. I was really surprised that Huntley went for 12.
Huntley,
Knowing
Fix
that
them.
Yeah.
he was coming
Yeah,
back, I was
bad
like,
run
that dude's going to
defense, don't you?
regain the backfield.
doesn't make
You don't
Yeah.
have to say run. You can just say bad defense, and it would be accurate. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, bad.
Okay. And he can catch out of the backfield too. So
Yeah.
I mean,
But that means they have to throw the ball, which they don't like doing.
They did last week.
So 100 scrimmage.
Do it quite a bit last week.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they threw against Carolina a ton. And look, Pitts had a good game.
Yeah.
London had an average game.
Tyreek's gonna kill me.
He
I'm
doesn't
kind of
have bad
scared to
ones.
say like he could
Tyreek's not very
20
good.
fantasy points because I want to make sure they
Nice.
don't work him back in. But if he's full go with no restrictions, I could see him easily having over 20 fantasy points. I'm not going to say it because I don't know what his use
Tyreek's
is.
gonna have a second 30-point output.
All right.
Big time.
Tyreek for 30 goes to Bryan.
Oh, we auction him off. I'll take him if you don't want him.
Josh Palmer goes for 20.
Palmer 20.
Keep going, boldness.
I'm looking.
You got no more?
Thielen might go for 20.
Whoa.
Might. Do I put that down?
No.
No typey.
I'm trying to catch up on the typies. I haven't made a bold prediction yet this episode. How about that?
Who wins the running back battle between the two Bears?
Michael said
Herbert by 2 times.
I know, but
So I think Michael is going with the Herbert take.
I think
Adam Thielen outscored Justin Jefferson.
Thielen over Jefferson.
That's pretty bold.
I'll take it.
I'll go 0 for 1 this week.
Goes to Mr. Robinson, the Magic Man.
Now you see him?
Now you don't.
I'm going to say Pat Mahomes, QB number 1 for the week.
Okay.
You know Tua plays this week, right?
Tua.
JT likes Tua.
They like Tua. Number 1 QB. They're playing Tennessee. It's a night game, prime time. Everybody's watching. I feel like Pat Mahomes with Kadarius Toney going to have a really good game.
Really selling.
Is that ice cream out there?
Yes, I have ice cream truck in there. It comes by every Saturday.
All right. Scorp, take over the computer. I'll be back.
Are you listening?
It's really, yeah, it's got really good
I'm
ice cream.
serious. If you go. I'll walk
That
with
means
you.
you
Make sure
gotta
you don't
run
get
or
hit.
walk, and I'm fat and out of shape. I can't do that.
No,
Jake's
he,
got a
he,
heel
he
driveway.
does like 2 or 3 trips.
Does he come up the driveway though?
No, you just kind of stand there and wait.
Either way, I gotta run downhill and back uphill. I can't do it.
You can. And I would love to see that.
We got a lot of bold predictions for this matchup.
Yeah, this is going to be a good matchup.
It is going to be great. Fantasy goodness.
I don't even know who's in it.
It's Cult of Personality versus Scorpion.
Okay, I had scrolled down past the screen of the team names. So. And I had the bold predict sheet up on the one team. So, just letting you know what's going on behind the curtain. Ooh,
I don't want to see that again.
I think Hayden Hurst might have 50 plus and a touchdown.
Might? Is that typey?
Yes, that's typey. It's a bold prediction, so I'm thinking it.
All right, Hurst, 50 and a touchdown.
I'm struggling with my pick this week.
Jeremy Chin still up?
I don't know. I don't watch
believe so.
Yeah. That helps Hurst if he's out because that's where the matchup would be.
That's a good analysis right there.
I like it.
Good analysis. All right, so who are we taking in this matchup?
JT.
All right, G8. Any one of you 3 gentlemen sitting at the table.
I'm gonna go with the Cult of Personality.
Right. One of you 2 fine fellas?
That Miles Sanders 15 helps me pay you. I'll take JT this week.
Okay. You're going Scorp because you got Herbert.
I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, but then I look at Tyreek Hill.
But then T.He on the other side.
Yeah.
No, I know he's got something. I'm done.
No. You still
You have to say it.
You have to do it.
I'm
Bryan.
not doing it.
Bryan.
I ain't gonna
T.
do it.
Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What are you
no!
talking about?
You should have told him.
It's fine. It's still on the screen.
Yeah, but it's
I'm
not
going
as
JT.
fun. All right.
Body poopa.
Going with you.
We clean sweeping it over there, Candy Pockets?
Nah, I'm going Scorp.
Don't you do it.
That's good.
Doesn't it hate when you get like a pity pick or you feel like no?
It's a close matchup.
I get them all the
It's a
time.
close
Thank you
matchup. I
for
got
it.
Mahomes as the number 1 QB. I had T. Higgins 2 touchdowns.
Tee-hee!
Yay! So why wouldn't I pick Scorp? I mean, again, if I think that's my bold predictions, then that's what I'm rolling with. Bitches.
Man.
Feel better?
Yeah.
Good.
All right, now on to our Week 9 matchup of the week.
My dub.
Jordan versus Bryan.
I hate having
Back. You haven't been.
guaranteed loss.
You haven't been in my
Well,
league in a while. I
It's
feel
a
like.
guaranteed.
It was a
fucking
guaranteed.
loss.
It was a loss for Jordan as matchup of the week as well. So
We
both
said
of
we
you
were
can't
putting him in
lose.
I got a larger sample size. than this. What is this, my 4th matchup of the week?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Jordan's pretty large too, big guy.
But Jordan's 0 for
Titanium.
I think Jordan's 0 for 1 in matches.
0 for 3.
That's the closest matchup. That's what I went
Yeah.
with.
Well, you know what that means? One of y'all's got to break the streak.
Somebody's gonna get the first win on matchup of the week.
And you know what we do a matchup of the week.
Position by position breakdown.
All right, so we have an original projection for the team with no name, 137. We have a live projection of 130 for victim of the system.
That's a close.
Who's gonna light up the NFC South the most this weekend,
Burrow.
boys?
Herbert.
A Burrow.
I don't
Burrow.
know. Both teams can't stop anything, so
Justin Herbert's number one pass option is either going to be DeAndre Carter or Drew Carter
that's
and
awesome.
Josh Palmer. Because
Gerald
Josh Palmer's
Everett.
out of the concussion
Gerald
protocol. I can't. He's on my team.
So,
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
But Josh
Palmer's
Palmer
been
was
out.
out of the protocol, but the coach hadn't cleared him.
Yeah.
How has the coach not cleared him? You've already passed the concussion protocol.
I don't
practicing
know.
full.
That was one of the big reasons why I picked up
Just play.
Carter is because I was like, well, he's the only one practicing this week.
Yeah.
But he's sick. That's what it said on Yahoo Fantasy Football.
I've
He's
got
sick.
tummy ache.
and I don't know. It just said illness. I don't know what that
It's
means. That
probably
could
been
mean
flu, because flu came back. It took 2 years off, but flu's back.
flu is back. Devontae Adams had the flu last week.
He did, and he had no fantasy good. No good.
0.5.
He's sick.
No
Michael Jordan.
I'm gonna take Herbert in this matchup.
I'm taking Berta. Bruh.
They just seem like they're missing a piece of their offense.
Both of them.
Cincinnati.
Are. Cincinnati's missing
Can
one
we
piece.
stop talking about it?
Chargers are missing.
I get it.
multiple.
Chargers missing their first and second wide receiver and their 2 All-Pro linemen from last year.
Let's see. I want to look at something Justin Herbert. So let's see. After that big game where he didn't throw a touchdown, okay, he threw 2 touchdowns, then had a bye.
I mean, he's been fine, but he's leading the league, I think, in passing yards. I mean, passing
attempts.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. After that,
Last
57.
2 weeks, 57, 51, and a bye. Is he going to throw for 60?
We also know Atlanta can't
60
stop the
passes?
run, so
No,
Eckler can have a big
nah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
Eckler
get
isn't-
to
they're not
that
allowing
here in
to
a
run
minute
this week.
because Eckler's in this matchup. I think Eckler's the one that's going to eat in that matchup, so I'm going to take Joe.
Nom, nom, nom. All right.
Nom.
Burrow,
Burrow.
Herbert,
I'm going
Burrow,
Herbert. I got Herbert.
Herbert.
Nah, it's pretty split.
Burrow.
I went Burrow, yeah.
Nah, we 3-3.
3-3.
All right, to the receivers. For the team with no name, we have Terry McLaurin, we have Jalen Waddle, we have DeAndre Hopkins. On the victim of the system side, we have Chris Olave, we have DJ Moore, and Tyler Boyd.
DJ Moore is underprojected.
9.83. You gonna make a bold?
Bold it!
Best game of the season?
That
He
was last
just
week.
got off 24. I don't want to go.
Jordan's receivers.
Yeah.
Hopkins, man.
I'm going
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah.
receiver. Waddle, man.
Terry McLaurin, man.
Good
Tyler
receivers,
Boyd,
man.
hey, I will say this: Tyler Boyd has had a very good season. He has got peppered with a lot of targets, especially considering T. Higgins has a difficult time staying on the field. I feel like he comes back, has a pretty good game, and then he's injured in the first quarter and never is seen on the field.
Chase or
It does
Higgins has
help.
been in and out, and Boyd's just soaking
Consistent.
up.
He's been pretty solid.
He's
That's a good
reaping the
pickup.
benefits.
That's a good
I
pickup.
think Tyler Boyd goes for over 100 yards and a touchdown.
Boyd. I got you.
Yeah, Boyd.
But I'm still going to take Jordan's wide receivers because of Hop, Waddle. I think they could combine for over 30. That's not very bold.
No.
They're both at 15, 13. So, but
And you said 100 and a tutty for Tyler Boyd?
yeah.
Yeah, tutty.
Thank you.
You like
Thank
it.
you.
You like
It's
it.
the gayest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Teddy.
I don't know.
That's
Really?
the gayest thing you've ever heard.
Nah, I've heard.
Is it really? Come on, man.
Dude, I swear, if they say it one more time, I'll go there.
Yeah, I'm thinking taking the team with no name receivers right here.
All right.
Just got 2 studs and got one pretty good receiver in Terry McLaurin. Yeah, but I think you could even out a little bit.
Terry McLaurin has been a lot better since Heineke took over.
Heineke's the future.
And
That's all I heard.
And the past.
Past 2 weeks, Heineke started 15.8, 13.6 for McLaurin. He hadn't had any week before that higher than those 2 weeks. So it's Heineke's good for McLaurin.
the sentence.
Hit that button.
Well, I'm trying to pay attention to what's going on in the kitchen. Those kids, they're cooking something up.
All right, so we have the running backs for both squads. For team with no name, we got Josh Jacobs, we got Austin Eckler, and for victim,
31.
we have Derrick Henry and Raheem Mostert. So Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, both of them been Austin Eckler before the bye had 3 30-point games in his last 4 outings. Derrick Henry coming off a monster game with 45, also has 3 games in his past 5 4 games in his past 5 with over 22 points.
The Chargers are going to rely heavily on Eckler.
They have been all year. He's on pace for like 120 catches.
NFL record.
Yeah, it would be.
By a running back.
Versus running back, yeah.
I'm gonna take Jordan's running backs.
Thinking Josh Jacobs is going to bounce back?
Yeah.
Because again, he had 2 30-point games in his past 3 outside of last week.
I think besides last week, like 30, 27, 30 or something.
Yeah.
32, 27, 35. But who's counting?
Yeah, over 30. Yeah, you get it.
Uh,
How much worse is Chicago's defense going to be without Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn?
A lot worse.
I'm saying Mostert's going against that. I don't know if they might.
Mostert could have a good game, but
but see, I don't think Miami does it.
They don't
throw
care.
it. Like, yeah. I
Right.
still
They
feel
run
like that.
just enough to keep the defense honest and let them do play action. They're not doing it.
Which I still think Mostert could go get a touchdown and 70 yards, but I mean, I still think they're gonna. I don't know if that's really that bold. I
it's not. That's about standard.
Yeah.
I got a bold prediction.
Oh, let's hear it.
Derrick Henry goes back-to-back 40-point games.
Go!
That is the only way.
Put on your
Tennessee-
bold pants today.
The only way Tennessee keeps his game close is if Derrick Henry runs the ball. They keep Mahomes off the field.
See,
Henry.
Only way.
I think Eckler has 3 touchdowns.
I don't even think that's that bold this week.
100 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's
Not
not bold.
rushing yards or
No,
Oh,
just
combined?
all-
I was gonna say, he's
Oh,
gonna catch. He's got more receiving
well over
yards than he does
100.
rushing.
He's
I just
well
said 3 touchdowns total and over
Hey,
100
chill.
yards.
If he gets 3, boys, it don't matter how.
Yeah, that's impressive no matter
I don't
what.
care if they put him back there to return punts.
I have one. Kelsey
Whoa.
has his second.
We just leaving running backs all of a sudden?
Oh, I was just doing the bold prediction.
Dude, what are you thinking?
Okay,
man?
I can't go outside.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Match up by position by position.
Did you not listen? He's told you what we were doing.
Position.
I thought the
by
bowls could
position.
just come at any point in time.
Not in match for the week.
You ain't fool me, talk man. Never go fool me, talk.
Oh, I love it. All right, so who we taking in the running backs?
You're really enjoying this shit, aren't you?
You gotta be taking. You gotta be taking Bryan.
Yeah, I'm taking Bryan.
You taking Bryan? As much as I want to take Bryan, because I actually like the Derrick Henry reasoning. Because again, if they're going to beat KC, they gotta.
That's the way. That's
That's
the
the
way.
The
way to beat
only
them.
way they can beat them.
If you look at when Kansas City loses, besides when they play Josh Allen, it's like, oh, it's time of possession's almost doubled up for the other team. Like, that's how you beat them.
As much as I like your reason for that, I'm gonna have to
He's
go.
still not gonna pick.
Team of
Like,
nine.
that's good. You're still stupid.
I'd say that. All right, who you taking running backs?
I'm taking Jordan. running
Taking
backs.
Jordan.
But
Who you taking running backs? Then we'll get the tight ends.
Brian.
I think he might have something to say about
There you
the tight end.
It's not good at all.
I'm going to take Jordan's running backs.
He's taking Jordan running backs. You taking yours?
No, I'm taking
Derrick
yours.
Henry?
Mm-mm. This matchup's not going to be close, boys.
It
It's projected close. It's not going to be
Oh,
close.
hey, you just went to winning this matchup because Mark Andrews has been ruled doubtful.
Yep.
Let's see who he's going to put in. Y'all think he's going Gibson? I mean, let's.
He probably should.
So can we
Which
just
puts
go
it at like 133 to 130.
Yeah, it's
Makes me really,
Really
excited
close.
about dropping after I picked up Isaiah Likely.
So I think Fournette going against Gibson is what we should
Hey, he's not
discuss.
gonna have
It's not going to be Fournette.
Oh,
Hey,
well,
so
Swift.
let's go to tight ends and then we'll jump to flex.
Okay.
So tight end matchup. We have Travis Kelce versus Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert put up a 20 spot in Bryan's lineup Thursday night. So does Travis Kelce
Big start
get
there.
20?
No, that was nice.
No.
No.
Nah, I don't
I'll
think
take
it's-
my tight end.
Take your
Yeah,
tight
Travis
end.
Kelce for 16.4 this week.
It's very detailed, so that's
It's not going to be bold if he gets over that. I'm saying he's going to
No,
get
that's
exactly
why I said
16.
that.
All right, then I'm putting it down.
16.4, yeah.
All
Let's
right,
call
then
it tight
apparently
end.
we got a bold prediction on Travis Kelce. Let's hear it.
16.4.
Yeah, I would just say, I mean, you can't have it. I've already taken
Second 3 touchdown game of the year.
Ooh.
That the feature 16.4.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know
that
if
would be
the math adds
18.
And
Just
just
don't cut his-
19.5.
He fumbled
Oh.
maybe.
Unless he rushes, unless he gets
Oh, yeah.
three on the 1 inch line.
We've all been there.
Do they have a whole
Rush-
line dedicated for the 1 inch?
I wore that one inch.
You made it this far. All right, so Kelsey's
You sound
16.4.
like a Chinese man when he says
Because he was talking to me.
Oh! Right.
That makes sense then. All right, carry on. That's yours.
His wife's Asian.
They know.
Yeah,
The listeners might know.
They know. Everybody knows.
No, we got two.
No,
This,
we
that guy
all
from
do it
Cracker
twice.
You think Joe knows?
Joe, yeah.
Joe. Come
Now
on.
he does.
I forgot about
Joe
him.
knows.
I need to update him on what's going on with the season.
You got his number.
I do. Find it.
Y'all know any kids who are interested in learning how to dirt bike? Send him to this stranger.
Joe's good at it.
That guy was a legend that would not let us leave.
I left.
I know, we all left. Scorp was all excited about talking to that guy. Loved him. Bryan's got his number. They keep up. That's his backup at work. He just doesn't want to give the name.
People are actually upset about Aaron Carter dying.
I
think the
very
world just got a little
upset.
bit. Yeah,
That's why he brought it up. He was upset.
I think the world just became a better place.
You love Shaq, though.
Like
That's
Shaq,
why.
Yeah. What's that got to do with Aaron Carter?
I'm
dying?
about
He beat him. He hates him.
That's how I beat Shaq. Yeah. Go home and listen to that song. You'll love it.
I don't think so.
I don't want to hear it. We listened to Ellie Goulding "Love You Like You Do" for like 5 straight times in your truck.
Love
You
me
down.
like you do.
And
I don't know
don't
what
you
the
dare
name
knock
is.
on it.
So are we taking Goddard or
What's
Kelsey?
wrong with this?
I'm taking Goddard.
Kelsey.
Goddard.
You're taking
20's
Kelsey.
bigger than 16.4.
I'm taking. Yeah, I'm taking.
I'm gonna take Goddard too. 20's a tough
That's
tough
tough.
stuff.
Kelsey.
No, I mean there's one that can do it.
That's what
Travis
there's
Kelsey.
one.
Travis
That's how they
Kelsey.
like it.
Taking Goddard as
I'm
well.
taking Goddard.
All right, so let's go to the flex because again, this is going to switch up completely. Mark Andrews in the flex for Jordon right now. He is doubtful. I imagine he'll probably take him out of his lineup.
Probably so.
Leonard
bold
Fournette.
strategy if you didn't.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
commander does he put in?
Like I said, I'd go Gibson.
Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't go Gibson.
Because Robinson's the starter, I guess.
Did Robinson?
I would still go
hadn't-
Gibson, but
Yeah, Robinson hadn't really impressed me.
and Samuel gets some manufactured touches on offense, but I think I'd go. Gibson.
I also think they'll be playing from behind in that game, which gives Gibson more opportunity within catching the
Which you
ball.
wouldn't have said until a couple
I
of
know.
And I think J.D. McKissick.
After you said that,
hurt
it
or
really
sick.
like puts
Or
it
both.
into perspective of who you should
Well, when
play.
you're sick, you don't feel good, which makes you hot.
But my charges.
But my George, they had to do that this year.
I know. Yeah, they suck still.
We have to take into consideration.
damage.
I don't like you guys.
What was that?
I don't know. He's just messing around at this point.
So the flex is changing, right? So
Flex
you'll
for
have-
both, yeah.
That
You'll
might-
have Swift, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that put me on 11.
Swift's going against who?
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
The Bay of Green.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Jordan's flex.
Regardless.
Regardless of who puts in.
I'm gonna take Swift. I think he's gonna have a great game because I'm trading him
He
away.
might, but
There you
as
go.
of right now, I gotta go.
I got to go talent, and I'm going to go Swift.
Okay. I'm gonna go Antonio Gibson.
Just because you think he'll get more opportunity.
Yeah. Because again, DeAndre Swift hadn't really got the
Yeah, I
ball
don't think he's
a
gonna
whole
get
lot with
If
again.
you know a full game, I would take Swift.
Yeah,
I don't think
if
he
it was
is.
a full game, I would definitely take DeAndre Swift.
I'm
But
going bold and going 0 for 5 this week. I'm going to go Gibson scores a receiving and a rushing touchdown this week.
Holy crap.
it's never happened.
I think it probably has.
Touchdown.
I think he scored 3 touchdowns last year on Thanksgiving or 2 years ago.
rushing and receiving.
I think so. I don't think he
You
scored
don't
3
know
of
so.
each.
You don't know, so. All right, so you're taking Gibson in the flex battle. Okay. All right, and then lastly, that takes us to our defensive matchup. We have Tampa Bay versus the Rams, and then Buffalo versus the Jets.
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. I thought that.
They didn't
I went
really
with
do
that.
it.
They called goose egg earlier in the pod, so yeah, definitely Buffalo.
All right, so last piece of
Dude,
business.
this is going to be a good
Who you
matchup.
taking?
It's not. It's gonna be a blowout.
No, it's
You
not.
gonna kill Jordan?
No, it's
No,
not.
Jordan's gonna beat the shit out of him.
I got Bryan.
Starting the picks off right.
I got Bryan.
Taking
started
the
It's a
Bryan.
no-brainer.
Let me think. So I took.
See, I could see like Bryan winning the flex defense easily. Tight end, I think, is going to be close. I think running backs will be close. It's the receivers that is.
It's receiver and quarterback.
Yeah,
It'll be
that-
close to 8:20 when Derrick Henry
As
plays.
Derrick Henry goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it won't be close anymore, Bryan. You
I
won't have
appreciate
to
Go
you,
for
Mike.
40 plus
I
again.
got you.
Trey going bold.
Must say.
Some good matchups, man. Like even the Baltimore
So it makes
game.
it the matchup of the
Olave, like I think he could have a pretty big game. Baltimore has not really stopped. Offenses this year.
You just spent 20 minutes on it.
He's trying to talk himself into one. Just one or the other.
Do it, dude. Do it.
I'll take Bryan.
Okay.
This is why I'm doing so well in the picks.
And this is fine.
This is exactly why I'm doing so well.
Why?
People being dumb.
People taking you?
Us being dumb.
I
I'll
like
take
your
Jordan
team,
for what it's
Rouse.
Appreciate you. Huh?
I took Jordan for what it's worth. But he was, 7-0, and I had to start picking my matchups. Till 2
Taking
weeks
Jordan
ago.
now?
Yeah.
I'm taking Jordan as well.
Taking Jordan.
Ryan?
He already said he's taking Jordan.
Well, he's supposed to go
Right.
last. That's why I was.
So is that a 3-3?
Yeah, 3-3 match for the week. Split!
That's why we
Split
do
up.
this.
That's why we do this whole thing, gentlemen.
That's what it's all about.
It's all about. It's for the fans, not for us.
Not for us.
Of course, there's 6 of us here. There's 2 teams in the league. It's only 4 people who know what's been talked about today.
Yes.
And Joe.
And whoever that random guy is that subscribes to the channel. That
We appreciate you.
We got a random?
Yeah, we got a random.
Rando.
We need to find out how he's doing in his fantasy league.
I don't think.
What if he doesn't even play fantasy football?
Hey, leave us
What
a comment
likes
and
to
let
hear
us know what you
Looking
think
at this
about
picture, he doesn't play fantasy.
Listen, don't dog the man that's listening to us.
He subscribes to us. I don't know if he listens, but if you do, thank you.
All right, so any last pieces of fantasy football wisdom for our listeners?
I don't know if we've given much to begin with.
I hate fantasy.
All right. Well, that wraps it up this week.
All right.
We'll see you boys next week.
Creep on in, on in, on in.